Down here, salt is a way of life.
Ladies and gents, we are live.
Welcome everyone, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon as we bring you Saltmine League's very own CPT World Warrior for Europe West. Number 3, we are rounding out towards the end of the season here. My name is Flexus, it's your girl, bringing the spice to the mic, and you know who's in the house, it is the very own Houseman. How are you feeling today?
Feeling good, feeling great. I've been enjoying the weekend. Capcom, of course, had that beta out for Street Fighter VI, and it has been a lovely time, but it is, of course, nice to go back to roots, go back to Street Fighter V, which is in what I think is its best season, and of course, you see that in the beautiful competition that has been going on all month. I have not been the only one enjoying the beta this week, though, because apparently Takamura forgot to sign up for this event because of the beta. He was so busy with it. And that means that today's bracket is going to be just a little off, if we want to bring that up, actually, to see who is playing today.
Yeah, going to be a little bit smaller, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be a lot of great talent coming your way. Going to have some returning champions from the previous week. I know we saw, what was it? Jin up here. I think we saw Gecko as well.
Mm-hmm.
Garnet. Definitely gonna have some returning members. Mr. Wolf as well, who is currently leading the board with the most amount of points at the moment. Now, mind you, this is a points-based tournament system. So as we move through each tournament month to month, you have a chance to gain points and get on the leaderboard. Obviously, at the end of the season, top 8 competes for a chance into Capcom Cup, which is a pretty big deal, especially for an online tournament. And, you know, I'd want a slice of the pie if I was competing.
I mean, this is your best opportunity. Right now, there's never been more of a chance for more regions to get seen. And right now, Mr. Wolf potentially showing up with the Seth would be almost unique in a Capcom Cup scenario. So if you haven't been paying attention, you definitely should now. Our first match, though, is going to be none of the top 8 listed players yet, but still hoping to get a chance are going to be Groovebox and Kat Nuki.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this bracket plays out, especially because we're missing Takamura. Takamura, consistent top 8 placer, so probably or potentially going to be losing that 3rd place spot. And if we run through, we got Mr. Wolf leading things out in 1st place. Is it Geeko? I think it's Geeko. Yep. Going in 2nd, Takamura 3rd. We've got Garnet in 4th, who we're going to see a little bit in the bracket. And I expect to see in top 8 as well. Gambonera in 5th. Tied with Akram, and then Dado Mago, and Jin tying out our 7th place. So, but I expect we're going to see some things shake up, and we're going to see some people shift. So, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited, especially because I saw some Dan action in the top 8, so I want to see Gamba.
Yeah, I mean, Gamba's always a show, always one to bring out the Dan and bring out something crazy with that character. God knows it's a character you love to watch and hate to fight against, so sorry to his opponent. But that being said, it's definitely a cast, a top 8 cast that you don't normally see. You don't usually see a Seth and a Kuma. A Fong, honestly, I'm getting more used to in top 8 nowadays because I feel like every tournament I commentate, there's a Fong and everybody's like, man, I never get to fight this character. It's like, bro, I'm at the event. I see all these people fighting this character. But anyway, you don't even see Lucia all that often. So it's definitely a region with its interesting top 8 placements. But you know what? we're going to get straight into it with our first match. As mentioned, it's going to be Groovebox and Katnuki. I believe I saw Mika, speaking of rare characters.
Yeah, the mirror too at that. That'll be interesting. Again, another character you don't often see coming into top 8s as well as just in general played. She had her heyday back in the day, but not quite as strong as she used to be. But I wouldn't say she's weak. I'm curious though, with a mirror match, right, how that would pan out. We'll see.
I mean, you might not say she's weak. You might not say she's weak. I personally think she's probably one of the more inconsistent characters in the cast just because of how much she relies on resetting, and so it's lower damage. But you know what? When it's a mirror match, you're on even playing ground. So right now, Groove and Kat are gonna get to it. Starting off with the mic taunt, this is winner take all.
Absolutely.
Next throw kills.
I love it. Do you think they planned it? Do you think they planned it?
There's the mutual respect among Mika kin, where one mic comes out at round start, the other will as well. Now, I think both players, you have to also remember they both gain V-Trigger immediately for doing this as well. So I think Groovebox has a slight advantage because he can just pop V-Trigger and get in for the immediate kind of pressure situation. Oh, that's dead. No, it didn't come. No. That was it.
Yeah, missed the grab as well. That's unfortunate here for Groovebox.
Oh, that's dead.
Oh, yeah. Basically. You were kidding. You were kidding.
Wait, you didn't know that?
No.
If you charge this the full way, it actually kills instantly.
I think it's 2,000 damage. I think it's like 2,500 damage or something like that.
That's so funny. Well, I never see that, so that is so funny.
Yeah. Right. Okay, now they're playing it out for real this time. I very much appreciate that. Groove taking the first round in a stylish fashion. Trying to V-shift out of the corner here, but Katnuki applying some pretty good pressure. Punishes the badly timed Peach, but that EX Peach will get Groove out of the corner and hopefully some momentum.
Absolutely. Momentum riding with it here with a nice grab. Going in with the charge up, creating some space. Oh, they're both looking to get a confirm coming into it. I do see as well V-Trigger again on both sides of things. And one touch to kill potentially either way. Not quite, but...
What are you doing? What are you doing? That was too bold.
Oh, unfortunate. Just mistimed the activation there. Nadeshko wasn't able to help out. Sorry, there are no tag-ins in this ring. You gotta take the L as Groovebox takes the W. One on the board.
That was some interesting gameplay, to say the least, from both sides. I'm glad that it seems like they're having fun with it. Again, there seems to be this kind of mutual respect in how each one wants to play. The second round being a little more akin to if they were fighting any other opponent. But no, we're just going for it. Oh, come on. Okay, now they're trying to bait each other out now, trying to get some sort of lead in getting an early in off of the opponent, trying to do a mic check.
Yeah, I don't blame him too. You do build that meter, and obviously for Groovebox, that's going to be momentous coming into this match here. Misses the anti-air, unfortunate, and gets a big command grab off of it too. Katnuki looking a little strong coming into this next match.
Ooh, nice anti-air. Groovebox has been able to take it back though, despite the strong starts from Katnuki. Katnuki trying to get in with the chair, gets in but doesn't combo. Thankfully, the chair backs them up. Trying to get a second start up there. Yeah, goes for the slide. Would have had the activation if it had been blocked. And Katnuki finally gets around on the board.
Yeah, unfortunate too. Having missed a couple of those confirms, and Desto really kind of the get out of jail free card there. So Katnuki gonna have to clean things up coming into this next round if they want to secure one. And this is first to 2, so not a lot of wiggle room coming into the start of the bracket.
No, unfortunately. And I think the biggest issue for Katnuki has been that Groovebox has used a variety of different ways to handle the knockdown situation. And meanwhile, Groove's pressure has been pretty consistent. Gonna almost get the stun here. That's a meaty Sobot. Gonna go in with the dive kick, double dive kick essentially, and Groovebox gonna combo into a round victory. Yeah.
And potentially match point at that. And that is the beauty, too, of any grappler, especially Mika, right? Once you get that knockdown, that's the strength. Oh! Talk about strength. We go in with a critical art right at round start.
No challenge on the dash in. Gets in with the... Oh, that's a little risky. Thankfully, didn't get punished too heavily for it. Groupbox right now going in with those dive kicks. Gets called out on the command grab, though. Nuki, can you make something out of this? Looks like he can. No, that's not a combo, though. Gonna get the side switch. That'll stun. But this probably will be too much scaling in order to kill, so we're going to save that V-trigger for one last mix-up.
Absolutely here, but I like this continuous corner pressure, but you gotta be careful because Groupbox ready with it here with the anti-airs on deck, able to close out the match. Exciting start, but a swift one for our bracket here. Groupbox going to be moving on to face Garnet in winners round 2.
Okay. Ooh, Mika versus Fong. That is not a fun time. But you know what? No. You've earned it. You've earned it with that shenanigans from round 1. So there you go. Yeah, interesting stuff. Honestly, not even too mismatched, even though it was gold versus diamond. I would say that if the only thing that you would have to work on if you're Cat is that, like, Groupbox is definitely doing stuff like delay rise, V-shift, things to just make sure that the pressure didn't continue endlessly for Cat if they weren't aware of that knockdown. So, it's tough to work on, especially if you're, polishing your Mika in this last year of Street Fighter V, and we'll still apply Street Fighter 6. So there's plenty to learn from today. But meanwhile, we're going to be moving on in the bracket. I need to see who's even up next. Flexus, are you more professional than I am? Do you know who's coming up next?
My guess is going to be Jin and Maeve, based off of what I'm seeing in the bracket, but we could also get something.
So Houseman is fired and Flexus is actually correct.
All right. I forget about that, the getting fired thing. I'm sure before the end of the day, I'll be joining you, Houseman, out of the job. But for now, I'm safe and sound. But is that going to play the same tale for Jin versus Maeve? Especially because Jin does have points. He is in top 8 right now on the leaderboard and tying up with Dadomago for 7th place. Now, how is Maeve going to fare against the potential Balrog?
I'll have to see. I mean, unfortunately, Maeve is not coming to mind in terms of the previous brackets, so they're definitely going to have their work cut out against them. Jin, if I recall, pretty standard Balrog play, but polished to a nice shine. It's going to be a lot of turtling into very fast, immediate rushdown guess situations if you're not ready to challenge some of the dash traits into V skill. So it's really going to matter on your character matchup in terms of Balrog the character, as well as getting a good feeling of when Jin wants to go in with those dash traits.
Now, mind you, I looked into my crystal ball of Twitter, and I saw that Maeve listed that he's a Chun player, and that's going to pose a difficult matchup here for Balrog. I mean, Balrog can certainly close in a gap, right? But you have to really be on top of your punishes to be able to, I guess, negate a lot of the neutral that Chun takes control over, right? So it'll be interesting. I never complain when I see a Chun-Li as a Chun-Li player, so I'm not going to show bias too much, but I am excited to see how this match is going to play out, especially because, when we look at, let's say, the US, right, we have some significant Chun players, and we also have Brian F., who is a fantastic Balrog player, tossing things up. That's not a match that you normally see, but it's not one that's entirely unfamiliar either.
No, and especially with all the new buffs that Chun's got, I think we've seen a new era in terms of V-Skill 2 use. Even V-Trigger 1's gotten a second life in this last season. But in terms of the matchup, yeah, it's going to ultimately come down to who can either better control the neutral in terms of Maeve's game plan and who can circumvent that in terms of Jin's game plan. But we're going to get right into it. 2 Grandmasters coming against you in a World War match. Better get started.
I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Obviously, 2 not quite similar play styles or character styles, right? But not entirely different. You mentioned that exactly, right? It's about who's going to control the neutral in this match. And you really want to be able to either bully Chun even though she has a 3-frame, right, you still want to be able to bully her because if she doesn't have meters, she really doesn't have any wake-up options, and that works out well if you're Balrog, especially because you can mix things up with either a grab, or you can potentially mix it up with maybe an overhead. I do really like his overhead.
And
I think it can be a little ambiguous.
Both of them still need points, right? Maeve currently at 12th
Jin,
place with 35 points, and Jin right at the bottom of the top 8 qualified players right now with 50.
Yeah, correct. And, you know, let's say hypothetically, right, Maeve gets first place. Maeve's gonna knock Jin out here because that is just how the cookie crumbles. But crumbling is Maeve in the corner there, but nice activation. Gonna get the knockdown, but that's one of the nerfs for Chun-Li is you don't get much Oki off of it.
Alright, gonna be activation for Jin there. Gonna try to open up Maeve. It's a final counter hit, but doesn't cancel, unfortunately. Probably didn't have the charge. Maeve taking advantage of that awkward situation. Jin dashing up right into Maeve's open arms, and now Maeve is in a chip situation. He should have taken it. He should have taken the chip because Jin goes in with the overhead, kills him in the corner, takes round 1.
Nah, the man just went in with his hand in the dip, right? No chip involved, and unfortunately it got a little messy there at the end. Jin able to take the round, and this proves why he's on the leaderboard, but it's only the first round here, so it could be a different tale to tell. But Maeve with a nice life lead, and here's the neutral game there, right? That forward medium punch is a killer. Ooh, and the air legs! You love to see it.
Showing off the air legs as they do. That being said, not getting a huge amount for it. Meanwhile, this wall jump actually getting the side switch and a good combo. No conversion off the back fierce. Thankfully, scares him into pressing buttons and gets a walk-up throw. Does Maeve, taking round number 2.
Yeah. And definitely even things up across the board here. This could be a match here, but Jin with a big, confident round start. Not even 10 seconds in and already over half health. But the EX-Lays get to the knockdown. Nothing off the wake up here. But this is dangerous here. If you're Jin, you're in the corner. You have to try and defend yourself.
Ironically enough, I think Balrog has enough of the tools to really push himself out of the corner with that EX low. And even if they had gotten V-Trigger, that would have been excellent as well. Stupid amounts of gray life on Maeve's side. Thankfully has the hit off of the stand fierce into that conversion. Even things up, but no! Gets counter hit dash straight. That'll deplete the gray life and the rest of your life. Jin, gonna take game number 1.
Yeah, the interesting thing to look at here as well, Balrog definitely puts a little bit more damage on the board than Chun-Li does, and I think that's going to prove to be a detriment because Chun-Li is going to have to work a lot harder than he is to be able to push the match forward, right? You kind of have to chip away at the health where Balrog could get 2 pretty solid confirms, and I wouldn't say close out the round, but definitely make things dangerous here for Maeve.
Yeah, not only does he get the good damage, but his corner carry is always really solid. And it's been, both sides have been able to push into the corner effectively, but Jin's been the one closing it out in the corner consistently so far. Nice with punish.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned earlier, you know, when we're in the corner, that's usually where the danger zone is and where Chun can really excel. But I like Jin's approach here, not really letting that deter him too much. Nice small confirm off the spinning bird kick, gets you a little bit of that wiggle room. Ooh, again, second time around, gotta be careful for the stun.
That was gross. Unfortunately, wow, I was about to say Jin got it away, but no. Let's Maeve come in.
No. Oh, there we go.
That last hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Never count out the last hit. Maeve taking round 1 in pretty quick fashion. It really went downhill for Jin as soon as the corner was a situation. Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
misconfirmed, but you know what? We take those.
Absolutely. Nice little, yeah, keep him in the corner, right? And look at where he's spaced, right before that timer. That gives him perfect anti-air opportunity, whether it's a heavy kick or like, but wasn't prepared for the EX.
Ooh, tries for the sweep, just gets punished with the round, with the fierce, excuse me.
Yep.
Nice anti-air. Again, yeah, such good corner control. This is going to be kill easily.
Yes.
Maeve taking game number 2.
Absolutely improving to be a strong contender coming into this match here. Jin's gonna have to be careful. He needs to secure that spot into top 8 to stay on the leaderboard.
Yeah, Jin actually struggling a bit in the corner now where Maeve had the game before. I think maybe just getting a little too antsy in terms of trying to jump out, assuming that it had worked once on somewhat of an awkward situation, and not just sticking to like, okay, I'm going to wait till he pushes himself out and go for EX low or something like that. So if Jin is not able to change his playstyle, this might be a free set for Maeve.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say free, but I'd definitely say it'll be difficult to make that comeback, especially because you're going to have to work your way through the loser's side of the bracket here. But, no, you're absolutely right when we're talking about the corner here. Chun's got the control, but you really have to play your patience game, right? Especially as well with Balrog. He's got a little bit more health, so he's got a little bit more cushion. He can afford, you know, to take some gray life. But can't do that when you have less than 50% here. There's the anti-air ready on deck.
Okay, doesn't have the activation because he used it for V-Shift. Isn't punished by the target combo, but gets hit by the raw V-skill. Maeve now has the corner guess, but no, messes up the instant stomp. And that will give Jin an opportunity, but instead Maeve just gives him the bird. And that'll take round 1 of game 3 here.
Gives him the bird in a different kind of way, but still the disrespect is Maeve. Yeah, I like that, right? A little bit of a delayed wake up so you don't get hit with the overhead. Mix things up a little bit, and then the EX spinning bird closes out the round here and puts Maeve at match point. Here's that corner control, but the patience pays off for Jin.
Yeah, that was a nice whiff punish, and that was what kind of I was referring to earlier. Maeve will create an opportunity in the way that they're playing. You just need a whiff punish instead of trying to jump out of the corner. Right now, though, Jin is not doing too well. Gets jumped on with a neutral jump. Maeve techs the throw, tries to keep this corner control, but Jin could activate here, and this will be how he bullies his way out of the corner.
Yeah, it works. Oh no! Unfortunate, it doesn't work out all the way through. Interesting upset. Maeve takes it over Jin to 2-1. I really think it was a patience game. It was genuinely a patience game. That and also the punishes on the anti-airs. They were crisp. They were clean. They were crispy cream. I love to see it.
Do y'all even have Krispy Kreme out in
I don't know.
Y'all gotta tell us what the
you gotta tell us
is with Krispy Kreme is.
Yeah, you gotta tell us what do you guys have anything like that, chat?
If not,
do I need to smuggle? Let us know.
Do I need to smuggle Krispy Kreme in the next time I visit out in the EU?
So.
Maybe. All right. Well, we'll talk about our smuggling bracket in a little bit. In the meantime, let's talk about the current ongoing bracket. We're gonna have, unfortunately, it's a good amount of DQs today. It looks like Ras and Fuajin are not going to be able to show up today. Neither is. Wait. Okay, I saw a DQ earlier. I guess it got resolved because I thought Mr. Wolf had DQ'd himself, but no, it looks like Mr. Wolf is here today, which is good to see. But yeah, 2 DQs is a little unfortunate, but hey, life happens. That's how it's gonna be.
Yep, and it looks like we're going
Top 16 winner's side, the Gambanera versus Mr. Wolf.
All right, that's what we're gonna have up next on deck. Mr. Wolf versus Gambanera. 2 people that are in top 8 right now for the leaderboard, for the points, for the cream of the crop, the tasty matches. Mr. Wolf leading things off, but Gambanera, you know, in 5th place, and because Takamura didn't show up, he could potentially be making a big jump through the brackets, or I should say through top 8. So I'm excited to see this match. This is going to be a big one too, because this is top 16 for a chance into top 8 to at least get the minimum amount of points you need.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Wolf has been pretty strong with their Seth. They've been very good at least getting enough damage so that when V-Trigger 2 comes around, they're able to get one mix-up and kill their opponent.
Yeah, Mr. Wolf won 2 out of 3 World Warrior events so far.
Yeah, no, very strong of an opponent. That being said, I feel like Gabanera has been getting better and better, and not only that, like he's on top of having Dan, he's always had a Ken, but he's kind of doubled down on it, and so he's had a bit more consistency in the bracket by having Ken in his back pocket. In fact, we might even see that pick against Mr. Wolf today, but. I know Flexus was looking to get the Dan, so we'll keep our prayers and hope that he's picking the Dan for the first round at least.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it kind of pans out. I don't know how Dan does against Seth personally. I know Ken definitely doesn't fare too horribly, especially because he's gotten a lot stronger as the seasons go on. So I'd say Ken is in a pretty good space, but Dan's never been the top dog, right? So a little bit of an underdog. Now Seth, of course, too, had some nerfs coming in as Seth got brought into the bracket. So it'll be, or not bracket, into the roster. So gonna be interesting to see, and I'm also interested to see what I didn't get a chance to check. Okay, V skill 1, V trigger 2. Interesting.
Yeah. That's the standard for Wolf. I think he only picks V skill 2 and matches that. The install that he gets from V trigger V skill 1 doesn't really apply. But yeah, like these extensions off of the Shuriken are really nice. Wolf right now going in with the pressure, spacing trap off of that. Unfortunately, eats an air to air. But no! Massive drop is going to lead to a counter hit combo. Wolf still going to have this corner. Another counter hit combo. Goes for a reset. That's not going to stun, but the dive kick will clean it up. Mr. Wolf taking round 1 in impressive fashion.
Really, really confident at that. The man took his vitamins. He's ready to go, and he is looking strong because of it. He ate those Flintstones. But Mr. Wolf, looks like Gabanera getting a few more confirms this time around, but you got to be careful with those jump ins because that anti-air can be so strong with the DP.
Alright, this is close to the situation that Mr. Wolf actually wants. He just needs one more hit, maybe a throw's worth of damage, and yeah, that's where he's going to try to get his activation off. Tiger Oh no,
not like this. We've seen this tail before, and it is unfortunate. Still holding on to the V trigger too. We could see activation. There it is. Closing out the round, putting one on the board for Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, just decided to even use the V trigger, if only just to style on him at the very end. Like what you saw happen there was Wolf had enough. Basically, if you're below 500 health, a mix-up from V trigger 2 can prove fatal. So as soon as Mr. Wolf got that hit off the crouch medium punch, he immediately went into the block string that would have gone to activation. Gabanera tried to V-reversal it, but the little bit of craziness that kind of happened afterwards definitely didn't go into their favor, and Mr. Wolf just took advantage of that.
Yeah, I like the call out as well, right, on the DP from Mr. Wolf. Able to really jump in on the punish. So he's ready with it, right? He's ready with it. And ready with it coming into this here, utilizing that V skill. It is so strong because in that close range, it pulls your opponent in, and that gives you a free grab. That can give you a lot of fun little options. We talk about options in the corners. Mr. Wolf, what's his option coming out?
I mean, if he can get a challenge, he can just kill here. I was going to say, he only needed to get a hit on block, because then he can activate into V trigger, and because Gabanera was already in V trigger, there's no way to V reversal it. You just have to hold that mix. But you know what? Hit confirming crouch medium punch gives him the kill, and Mr. Wolf puts himself on set point.
Correct, but it also puts him at a little bit of a detriment because he doesn't have any meter to carry him into this next match here. And that's going to give Gabanera a little bit more to run with. I'm talking about run in the corner.
Little overly zesty, way overly zesty. That's too much lemon, Gabanera. Gonna activate here, and you're gonna have to guess for your life right now. That's going to explode in your face. Thankfully, Mr. Wolf doesn't have the meter, so he tries for the reset to get the kill, and Gabanera is just not having any of it. Gets the side switch into a nice EXDP combo, and now Mr. Wolf is going to be stuck in the corner for a little bit, at least until Gabanera says so.
Yeah, uses the V-shift to try and outspace some of the neutral that Mr. Wolf throws out. The throw, that back throw, especially with a little extra cushion on the damage, able to close out the round. Gabanera stands to live another day, but can he carry the heat to get a point on the board?
you know what? They weren't doing too hot in the first game, but Gambonera's hit confirms on these crouch medium kicks have been really nice and have allowed him to at least make Mr. Wolf double think about walking back in this neutral.
Yeah, I will say Mr. Wolf throwing out, I think, a little bit more liberally there, the tandem engine, right, the V skill 1. You gotta be careful because that can be punishable at certain ranges. So you don't want to throw it out willy-nilly because that is a free damage grab for Gambonera. And a nice anti-air from him as well. Talk about damage grabs. Hey, that'll do it.
Ooh, okay. EXDP's hitting. That's a good idea, but no, we're gonna get, unfortunately, hits too many times, and that might be... you know what? It's spaghetti. It's spaghetti everywhere. That is instantly gonna kill. Mr. Wolf gonna take this. No, that's not dead.
The stealing. But hey, the jump in definitely gets the confirm. And confirmed is Mr. Wolf into top 8.
I will give Wolf something. He works just fine in a scramble, and he works just fine when everything's calm and cool. I can't say the same about Gambonera, unfortunately. I think Gambonera wanted things to go in a much more structured and ordered fashion. He wanted his hit confirms to work. He wanted, pressure to be kind of consolidated. And when it wasn't, Mr. Wolf just seemed to, instantly know, okay, if I just jump here, he'll whiff any button he throws, I'll get the dive kick, or I'll just block, wait it out, get the EXDP, just like you can get the weekly schedule that we have up in front of us here. If you don't already know, you're watching the Saltmine League channel. What that means is that you're at the place where the Saltmine League happens every week. Every Saturday, 5 p.m. Central European Standard Time is the SF5 Saltmine League EU Open Bracket. On Sundays, for this limited time at least, there are the SF5 NA East Coast Open Brackets.
Yeah,
now, that has been going on. Not this week, but
Street Fighter 6 beta.
Yeah. So, I mean, we missed it out on this week, but everybody missed it out because it's been Street Fighter 6, of course. But next week they will return, and it is an ongoing league, which means that based on the amount of points, there will be a top 8 finalists, just like there will be top 8 finals for the Saltmine League World Warrior tournaments. Now, if you don't already know, Capcom Pro Tour has been sponsoring these events. There are 5 tournaments for each of the 5 regions going on in Saltmine League. There are UK and Ireland, Europe West, Europe East, Germany, and the Nordic and Baltic regions. Now, at the end of those 5 tournaments, the winners who have the highest amount of points determined by the tournament standard are going to fight, and the winner of that top 8 tournament is going to get a free ticket to Capcom Cup, the final Capcom Cup of Street Fighter V. So if you haven't already been following the league, which you're watching it right now, make sure to follow Saltmine League on Twitch, and make sure to follow them at Twitter so you know when these events are going down.
Absolutely. And if you want to participate yourself, you can still enter in some of these brackets. We are more than halfway through the season, but there's still a chance to place in top 8. So, if you're feeling a little spicy, you're feeling like you have a chance, and everybody does, you can enter in for your own region, whether that's US, whether that's EU, or around the world, because we got just about everywhere covered, so...
Yeah, just come by and just win one of these, and you'll be good. I promise. So we're this is tournament number 4 at this point. So Correct. We are pretty deep into it. You are absolutely right in saying there's always a chance that you could get a top 8 placement, especially if you just take one of these. So if you haven't already signed up for it, this is pretty much your final chance to get a big name event before Capcom Cup. So please, if you or you know anybody who is a top player that should be competing, make sure to let them know these are going on.
Absolutely. And speaking of going on, we have got Geeko versus Maeve going on up next, unless production tells me otherwise. Oh, okay. I lied. I'm fired.
Yes, you are.
I'll fire myself.
Just sending the resignation letter. That's how you do it. I didn't get fired. I quit. I'll let you know. Yeah. But no, this will be Garnet's second Mika, because of course they had to fight Groovebox earlier, who we saw take out Kat Nuki. So yeah, Garnet's just getting all the Mikas today.
Yeah, Garnet's gonna have quite an interesting day and afternoon for him, but you know what? Not the worst thing in the world, right?
Wait a minute, what?
No, Mika.
Oh,
Look at
no,
the Vega instead.
Yeah, I saw the Mika on the character select. I just assumed.
But it's the battle of who's got the cooler hat, right? The Fang or the Vega? Do you think they planned this outfit?
Maybe. I don't usually see this outfit too often, surprisingly. Vega just has too many good outfits that are actually remarkably similar.
He's a stylish boy. Talk about style, and Garnet out of the corner there with the slide. Nice pick confirming, gets the poison so slowly melting away. The hell? You need to see it confirm, otherwise they're gonna be in trouble.
Garnet currently at the top of the leaderboard with 115 points, and Snowboy is actually on 8th place with 50, shared with Jin.
Yeah,
Needs to make something definitive happen, but that will definitively give Garnet round 1. I think Garnet has been pretty good control of this so far. I think Snowboy is having a little trouble with not only the poison traps, but also trying to walk around them and being too vulnerable to these crouch heavy kicks from Garnet.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's proving to be a little bit of a difficult match here, but this is for a chance into top 8. So if Snowboy can close this out, Snowboy does potentially have the opportunity to make it into the top 8 of the season. So a lot on the line here for Snowboy, and especially in a matchup against Fong, who's been looking very strong coming into the season. Activation gets him out of the corner, though. Talk about looking strong, a little bit more comfortable.
Okay, sets up the standard pressure sequence. Garnet has a significant life lead, tries to get it bigger with the V-skill, but Snowboy calling it out with the slide. Gets more life with that crouch, with stand heavy punch, and wow, just the raw CA to go through the poison cloud. Not enough to kill because, you know, Vega problems.
Yeah, unfortunate, just not quite enough damage, and this could be a chance for Garnet to bring things back, especially with the V-trigger, but the air-to-air closing out the round, Snowboy taking it.
Now, unfortunately, you cannot say that critical art can come out at any time. You have to build up that entire meter. Thankfully, the sweep is going to give Snowboy a little bit of wiggle room there. Gets mixed up by the poison cloud knockdown shenanigans. Garnet now going in, gives him the throw, and is probably going to try to follow up on the stun. Unfortunately, messes up the instant air attempt that they went for. Snowboy thankfully survives a little bit. Gets out with the EX roll, gets the slide, and now we're back in mid-screen.
Yeah, goes up with the slide, makes it safe with the activation here for Snowboy. But that means he loses V-trigger, which is unfortunate because he doesn't have that get out of jail free card. But Garnet, on the other hand, already with the activation, the setup here, but blocked out! Okay! Snowboy, you ready with it?
Okay, blocks some plus frames, tries to get in. Thankfully, that's only -2. But yeah, you can definitely see Snowboy maybe getting a little bit frustrated with this neutral situation, trying to figure out how am I going to make up for this life deficit. Doesn't have the critical art that they need to get through these poison clouds. So they're just going to have to hold this pressure. That's just enough to kill. My God. Garnet, going to take game number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, this proves why he's in that number 4 spot here. And he could potentially take it over Takamura to move up through the top 8, especially because Takamura didn't show up today. So, you know, I'm excited to see some mix-up here in the bracket. But I'm also excited to see this next match as we get into the thick of it. One on the board is Garnet, looking very confident, but we gotta see just a little bit more patience, I think, from Snowboy. Maybe using that activation as something more of a damage output than just a defensive option.
I mean, it's always been a strong get out of a corner situation. I think they used it in that last round just because they were trying to keep up the momentum on the offense with that slide, and so they had to make it through.
Yeah,
but right
absolutely.
now, with a life deficit, thankfully Snowboy gets a nice slide. Doesn't punish that EX sleeve though. And now life is going to be slightly in Garnet's favor. Thankfully, Garnet is going to decide that for Snowboy. Thankfully, with a bad sweep, Snowboy going to run on this momentum. Nice call out. Nice call
Oh!
out with the beat.
And for the style points, you end it in the Vega Classic, the slide. Alright, Snowboy also coming into this next match with a full stick of butter to cook with, and I'm smelling something good coming this way.
Ooh, okay. Keeping up the corner pressure. But even then, Garnet has to make up for the life deficit. Gonna do some well with that nice little combo there. Snowboy not handling the pressure too well. Needs to find an opportunity, and unfortunately, opportunities coming to Snowboy with that mix-up. Garnet trying to make the rush down happen, but realizes, nope, stun's not gonna happen this round. We're just gonna play it calm, play it cool.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful because you are still poisoned. Your life is melting away the activation, but I like the V reversal away from the pressure. And the small confirm. Garnet on match point.
Yeah, Snowboy's been putting up a good fight, but yeah, Garnet just does seem a little bit stronger either in terms of the matchup or at least the character experience. Knows how to play a game plan that is relatively safe, not too risky here and there, and really forces Snowboy, if they want to get in, they have to spend resources, and it's not always the easiest decision to make.
No, but thankfully it does have that 2-bar V trigger there, but also has the command grab. Misses a second grab, but hey, you know, we can still take those. Trying to even out, if not get a little bit of life lead as Garnet blocked it out, but pushing him back in the corner.
Alright. B-skill comes in their favor. Wow, calls out the backdash with the roundhouse. It's a really nice combo off of it, but again, has to use 2 bars. Tries to clean it up with the command grab, but Garnet backdashes. And this will be Garnet's opportunity to really mix up Snow. That's the last mix-up. Last mix-up they try is the low, and that low is going to get punished. Snowboy gonna take game number 2.
Yeah, doesn't want to go down without a fight, but I love to see it because I love to see more Street Fighter V action as we even up the scoreboard 1-1. I like the EX roll there too. It gives him a little bit of a pushback and it gives him more opportunity for damage, but I think Garnet still has the opportunity to maintain control, especially as he's throwing down the ground poison, right? That negates any ground approach, so you have to jump in the air. And it's a game of rock, paper, scissors, and if I already got rock and paper covered, I know what you're going to be playing next.
Yeah, not too hard to discover that. That being said, Garnet looking a little spaghetti in terms of his button presses. Like, even that slide, like... thankfully gets out of the corner with the EX command dash, but like Snowboy is playing a relatively clean game, and I don't think Garnet is showing up with clothes quite as clean.
No, but I do like that interruption with the air to air, but the grab going to take you out of it. Kind of ruining this momentum here for Garnet. I like the patience from Snowboy, especially the interruption, but the small confirm going to get the corner control and even up the life bar. Garnet trying to close things out. I like the activation again out of the corner. We've seen that a few times here from Snowboy, but no V trigger. Plenty of meter though.
Okay, keeping it calm, keeping it cool. Garnet does technically have the life lead, and again uses that sweep to call out the walk that Snowboy and so many Vegas want to try to attempt. Nice dash check there, and Garnet is actually going to put himself back on set point.
Yeah, and I like that interruption too on the dash. You don't give him any free space to roam, right? This is not a free range here. You know, you stay within the confines that I give you if you're Snowboy and Garnet. Right
Okay,
now,
Reedus, I think you're doing some mod abuse in the chat right now. People are allowed to say that the theme is top 3, even if they're wrong. Even if they're wrong, they are allowed to say it. Oh no, drop! That is such a tragic drop.
Oh, unfortunate! Missed the critical R. Wanted to do it for Garnet right now.
Tries to get out, and he does successfully. Oh, Snowboy brings it back. Let's go. Despair does not overcome. All right.
You love to see it, and you love to take things into this as we go match for match, round for round. This could go either way and confirm its placement into top 8. Big crush counter here coming into things. And I like the nice punish. Snowboy looking confident. That pickup really picked him up coming into this match.
Yeah, unfortunately wasn't able to keep the corner locked down tight, and thus Garnet was able to not only escape, but do a lot of damage on the way out. Thankfully, the air throw ties things up, and that V-trigger should kill Snowboy.
Damn, sending...
Takes it over Garnet. A little bit of an upset.
Yeah, Garnet won one of the World Warrior events. Currently first in the ranking. Sends him down to losers.
Unfortunate, but that doesn't mean he's down and out for the count, just down into the loser's side of things. So still has an opportunity to make it through, but he is gonna have to fight his way, and there's no do-overs. If you're Garnet, you get one last chance, but Snowboy sitting comfy and earning a spot. I believe Snowboy, you said, was in 8th place, correct?
In the seeding.
Yeah,
of,
in the points. Yeah, he really needs the points currently.
Yes, in order to have a chance to make it at the end of the season and be able to, you know, knock down Jin or Dado Mago. So it'll be a lot of fun. But talk about a lot of fun. Houseman, who do we have up next on deck?
Let me be professional and take a look at our docket here. If I can figure out which one of my tabs is Discord. It is going to be up next, Geeko versus Maeve Dash. So we saw Maeve earlier with the Chun, you know, fellow Chun player, and going up against Geeko's Cammy. It's a matchup that I feel neither character player enjoys. Like, I don't think it's actually worse than like a 5.5, 4.5 in one way or the other. But, you know, Chun wants to play that grounded game. She can anti-air, and she does have good anti-airs, but I feel like the players don't really want to anti-air. They want to focus on that ground game. Meanwhile, Cammy, you know, has a strong dive kick. Always been a particularly strong one, especially once she has V-trigger or bar meter. So always has that threat available to her, but has such low life that every one of those stand fierces, every one of those 4 medium punches, they do just, it feels like they do the same amount of damage as to other characters, but the percentage of health that it takes is higher. So it's definitely a grueling matchup for both sides.
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, in the previous match that we saw Maven, right, it was a little bit more of, hey, I got to work a little harder because Balrog has more health, so, you know, I got to get more confirms and so forth. But in this matchup, not so much the tale to be told. Gonna have a bit of an easier time, but we also have to think about the fact that Cammy is a very mobile and agile character in the roster. You know, she has a pretty decent walk speed, I believe not the fastest, but among one of the fastest, and she's got some tricky options that allow her to control the airspace, and that is not where Chun excels by any means. She likes to stay kind of on the ground and, you know, control the neutral. So and not to mention too, when I'm looking at the leaderboard, Geeko is on it and Maeve is not. So Geeko's, you know, has a chance to prove us why he deserves one of those top spots here, and for a chance to be that much closer.
Geeko's been hit or miss in all honesty. First tournament, they took it. They were the winner. The one after that, they went 0-2. So it's been back and forth in terms of their results. That being said, I think their Cammy is remarkably strong on the ground. Actually, they're one of the Cammies that I think doesn't, you know, try to thrive in just the air. But that being said, unfortunately, a misconfirm is going to give Maeve a huge life lead. And what a neutral jump. We saw that against Jin in the Balrog set, but Maeve has such good timing in terms of their neutral jumps and reading when their opponent wants to use those really aggressive options.
Yeah, that crouching medium kick as well has really worked out Maeve's favor, especially with the confirm into the spinning bird kick, right? We've seen that work a couple times. Great anti-air as well. Talk about bird kick. The EX definitely going to do it. Got the side switch going for Geeko.
Ooh, didn't want to use the EX bar. Probably wouldn't have killed, and at this point, you're just going to go for a throw to try to kill Maeve here. Tries for the jump in. Maeve goes in with the anti-air. No!
The punish! Unfortunate in the activation into it here. Not enough to kill, but enough to do a dash in here.
Oh my god.
Oh!
You hate to see it. When the throw whiffs and you get punished for it. Geeko survives round 1. I think we'll describe that as.
Yeah. Just barely. And that's the unfortunate side too of Chun-Li, right? She's got a lot of long range options, but her you know, her throw and even her light buttons, they're a little stubby. So the throw especially a bit of I think a pain point for Chun-Li against Cammy.
I expected many things in my commentary booth. I did not expect a Chun player to start describing her normals as stubby,
I will
we'll take
always
Nah,
describe
you
her
fired
normals.
for that one, Flex.
I will always describe her normals. What do you mean? It's
Oh.
Chun-Li.
Stubby. Oh my god.
Chun-Li and
All right.
Stubby normals. Nah.
No, this is my
Nah,
light
you
punch and her
fired.
light
What
kick.
anti-air was that? That was insane. Maeve going with the stand medium kick to call out the EX dive kick.
I
Unfortunately,
love
gets hit
how she
confirmed.
got disproven right in the second she said it.
No, I'm doubling down. Her throw is stubby, okay? Let me live my life. I'm getting bullied right now. I'm already fired. You can't fire me twice, Ritas.
Oh, you think?
Oh, you have no idea.
True. This is Saltmine League. After
Germany.
all, this isn't...
Germany's
Yeah,
a very strange place. I will say that.
I know they
Oh, no.
love David Hasselhoff.
That's the place you
You're
only get fired but never get hired.
you get fired once and suddenly start calling out the national hero.
Talk about callouts. Geeko taking it here with a nice confirm and one on the board at that.
Yeah, Geeko, you know, taking game one, nothing to scoff at, but like have that with DP. We kind of missed it because we were still recovering from the commentary, but there have been a lot of missed spiral arrows, a lot of missed like raw DPs, and thankfully
Yeah.
Maeve hasn't been taking huge advantage of that.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll go back to character select, maybe just like regain a little bit of composure, because those are just
But
opportunities
Nico actually
that
did go back.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, they're gonna Geeko is character locked to say the least. If Maeve wants to
Yeah.
take this opportunity to change V trigger or V skill, I'd be surprised if they did, but they have it for them. But yeah, there's just opportunity. There is more opportunity there to do more damage. I think Maeve just I don't know if they haven't fought Geeko a lot. I don't know if they're just not experienced with them. But I think that they're missing out on some opportunities, and hopefully they're able to kind of, if those opportunities present themselves in this game, they're able to better capitalize on them.
Yeah, but I mean, we can tell the other tale, right? Geeko's also playing pretty well. He's been able to pick up some of his drops here and get a lot of damage and a lot of leeway coming into these matches. So, a little bit more control, and it's proving why Geeko is in the top 8 for
Yeah, that was a
CT
nice-
World Warrior Europe West.
That was a nice plus dive kick. Unfortunately, it doesn't take advantage of that. Good whip punish though. Maeve now stuck in this corner against Cammy, which is just probably one of the worst places to be in the world.
Yeah, but not a worse place here. The wall jump lets Maeve get out of the corner, but Geeko's still got plenty of damage in pack. Oh my gosh, words are hard today, but what's not hard is a confirm as Geeko trying to call something out with a dive kick. Hey, that does it.
Yeah, Geeko's poking game has been remarkably strong. It's something that isn't mentioned about Cammy enough. That like her pokes are really, really solid. And if you're not on top of your whiff punish game, I know crouch medium kick got nerfed. You know, it's much easier to whiff punish, but you have to be on top of your game. And right now, Maeve isn't looking to whiff punish. They're looking to control the mid screen, and Geeko's kind of been taking advantage of that.
Yeah, and rightfully so, especially as we're getting into this. Geeko sitting at match point here. I like a little bit more spacing, right? Trying to get that punish, as you mentioned, on some of the neutral ground. But talk about punish is for medium punch, still a strong contender.
Ooh, runs into the stand medium kick. Geeko now in close enough that they can get that nice pressure into the critical art. This is going to be a +6 dash in, which means you're going to have to guess. Thankfully, Maeve is going to take the throw, but unfortunately dies to the nice little confirm. Geeko takes a clean 2-0.
Yeah, I was gonna say Maeve takes the throw, but Geeko takes the match and takes this chance, or I should say spot, into top 8. But Maeve gonna be facing off against Groovebox down in loser's side for his own chance into top 8. So yeah, not down and out for the count, just down into loser's side of things.
All right. does that mean we have, let me look at the bracket. That means we have at least winner's side of top 8 all settled and ready to go.
Right.
It's going to be Snowboy versus Akram. And then, of course, Geeko versus Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, and that's the difficult position, right? Mr. Wolf leading the leaderboard, and Geeko number 2 spot here, so that's a chance for some more points and damage. But talking about chances, right? You guys have a chance to tune into even more Saltmine League. Not this week, but next week on Saturday, 5 p.m. CEST for Street Fighter V EU Open Bracket. And on Sundays, we've got Saltmine League NA East Coast Open Bracket. Make sure you guys tune in. And if you want to keep up to date, you can also follow them on Twitter. But if you want a chance to enter in yourself, you think this is just so fun and exciting, and you want a chance to make it into top 8 and a chance in Capcom Cup, you can enter into the World Warrior tournaments as well. We have got UK, we've got Ireland, Europe West, Europe East, the Baltic Nordic region, and Germany. So more than halfway through the season here, but there is still time. There's still opportunity, and you can seize the day and seize it. Talk about seizing things. We're going to seize our chance into top 8 as we move through the bracket. Do we have Garnet versus Too Old for this up next?
No, we're doing winners top 8.
Okay,
just go
we are
straight
doing
into
winners
it.
top 8. Yeah,
No time. No time for the loser side. We have
No.
only the winner side. No, we're gonna get. Are we gonna go to Snowboy or are we gonna? Yeah, because
Yeah,
gonna
Snowboy versus Akram.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So yeah, Snowboy having a good show today. I should have remembered that they picked Vega. Of course, they've been playing Vega. Usually see Bolt Strike in the chat as well, shouting them on support. But sadly, I think maybe Bolt Strike's either busy with real life or
in the Street Fighter 6
Street Fighter 6 beta.
Yeah, I don't blame him, to be honest with you, but Akram also had quite a nice time moving through the bracket. Took a 2-0 versus DK Mahdi and got that nice free ride into top 8 with the DQ against Ras. So Akram, gotta stay on top of his game, though, as he faces off against Snowboy, who's been playing very, very well this evening.
That being said, definitely a matchup I don't think Vega really appreciates the matchup against Colleen. I think the option of like V-Skill and V-Skill 1 in neutral, the auto parry, or the lunging parry, I should say, gives buttons like stand medium punch from Vega a little bit of a hard time. And even though Akram got here mostly by DQs, it's really something they didn't need. They're usually like a top contender. I don't know where they are in terms of the points, but they're usually a really strong player that takes out a lot of opponents on their way to either top 8 or top 16. So
Yeah.
do not if you're the audience watching and looking at the bracket and be like, man, this guy only got to top 8 because of DQs. Nah, he was gonna get there one way or another.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and he is in top 8 right now for the season as well. I believe tied in with the 5th place at the moment. So, as you said, he earned his spot, and he would have done it regardless of how the bracket was going to play out. And today, he's still going to get confirmed points on the board. But can he get the top spot? Can he get more points to secure, an even higher opportunity?
Well, right now, Akram's showing off the Lucia instead of the Colleen, which had the counter poke to get a little bit of advantage, but like the tough thing is going to be this neutral. If Akram can push Snowboy into the corner, it's an entirely different game, and the V-Trigger 2 can help. That corner carry with V-Trigger 2 is stellar, but it's going to be making an opening. That being said, this combo should immediately get them into the corner. Snowboy right now going to have to face the brutal pressure that Lucia can apply. Oh no, didn't punish properly. Thankfully makes that safe with the V-Trigger too. But Snowboy uses his own to get out of the corner. Gonna have to make up for that life deficit though.
Absolutely, and it is a tall mountain to climb as we get damage on the board here from Akram. One confirm can definitely do it to close it out. Ooh, that could have been detrimental. The throw, Snowboy trying to pick things up. Do it a second time. Can we do it a third? We sure can.
That was overkill to the highest degree, but we take it. Snowboy gonna take round 1.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it because you're not having a huge deficit compared to your opponent coming into this. And mind you, too, Akram is the only, I believe, Swiss player that's in top 8 for the CPT World Warrior right now. So he's got a lot to represent in a way.
Yeah, trying to remain neutral here, but you know what? We're going to use that V-trigger too. Look at this extension for the corner carry. Get a little extra combo? No. Going to set up the fireball pressure.
Yeah,
Runs right into crouch.
Absolutely. Lucia definitely gets a lot of screen carry with her extended combos there. Works out in her favor, but Snowboy, talk about range.
Dunks right there. That's going to be punished, though. I don't think Snowboy's able to kill. Never mind. I didn't realize he had a critical art. Snowboy going to use 2 critical arts to take both rounds and take game number 1.
Yeah, and very convincingly at that, but he still has a ways to go as we get into, I believe all top 8 is first to 3, so it's no easy feat. You just have to carry this momentum moving forward, and still we're looking very confident at that. Not to say that Akram isn't putting up a fight, but it just seems that Snowboy is a little bit more composed.
One aspect of the matchup I didn't really take into consideration is that Lucia, again, is a character that really loves it when she gets her corner pressure going. Vega is actually a really slimy character in that regard. They get out of the corner remarkably well just with the use of a V-trigger. So it's an aspect of this matchup that might not be favorable for the Metro City Cop.
Yeah, but to be fair too, though, you do have to utilize resources to get out of that corner, but it is only 2 bars, right? So it's a little bit of a trade-off here, and already built that V-trigger as mentioned, but you gotta eat the throw here. I expect we'll see, oh no, tried to do the V reversal to get away from this pressure. Doesn't use activation out of the corner, but hey, you know what? A little bit of that claw goes a long way.
Wow, okay, yeah. Akram backed off a little bit and allowed Snowboy to challenge and get themselves out of the corner and then pressure for the kill. Nice anti-air. Tries to shimmy, but Snowboy's not checking. He's like, I will take every throw you throw at me right now. We're not in Street Fighter 6 yet. There's no throw loops anymore.
Fortunately not, but you do have to deal with Lucia in the corner, and I don't want to be in that position. I don't want to throw a loop. I don't want to be against Lucia there. Nice punish on the activation as well. That long range projectile really works in her favor.
Yeah, unfortunately, was Snowboy's attempt to get out, but you know what? We get out anyway. Ooh. Tries to challenge when the V-trigger was walking behind them. From right now is in a prime situation. Finally gets the shimmy that they're looking for. And
yeah,
like,
sorry, you go.
It's just telling in those moments when you have the knockdown, either the throw or strike will kill, and you say to your opponent, how do you want to die? What way are you gonna die in this situation? Because it's your choice.
Yeah, unfortunately, no mercy to be had in that round. And I really liked, I wanted to comment very briefly on the well-spaced EX kicks there. It really would have been difficult to be punished here, but activation, talk about EX kicks from it. Slide, though, not a lot off of it so far. And we have activation potentially on Snowboy's side. Yeah, and critical art again.
It's a good situation to be in. Not enough to kill. One more throw will put him in a situation, though. Yeah, next strike can go into critical V-trigger and then critical art. That'll do it.
Yep. And that closes it out. 2-0 right now against Akram. Not much closer, but Akram could still bring it back, right? It is first to 3, so you still have a few matches, a few rounds to go.
Yeah, I know Akram is kind of dedicated to the Lucia pick at this point. I do wonder though, because I feel like Lucia just really
Akram also has a really good Colleen.
Yeah, that's what we saw. That's what I was mentioning earlier. It's like I feel like the Colleen's the better pick here, but Akram's sticking with the Lucia, gets the shimmy, and if they can scare Snowboy into shimmy, into delay teching enough like they do right now, that's how we see rounds like this. Where the stun immediately happens, you just burn their life away in this corner. And like look at that combo. That combo was sick. And now we just do 3 walk-up throws. No, he gets out. Oh my god, Snowboy gonna take it. Oh, but it's
potentially there, but the throw into the corner, Snowboy stands to live another day, at least another few more seconds here. But you gotta be careful. You don't want to get clipped on the toes here. The punish. You don't need to get your toes clipped because you're sliding into it. Unfortunate there for Snowboy.
Now we see the stand medium punch coming back with a vengeance, even trading on the fireball startup, which is just unfortunate. Thankfully, a nice hit confirm from Akram is going to give them some damage. Meaty situation, a little awkward, trades and puts us back into neutral.
Yeah, and trying to use that claw for that far-reaching neutral and the punish. I thought we see it 2 times now. All right, the low into activation here for Akram, but nothing big built off of it just yet. Looks like Snowboy just chipping away at the life bar here. I'm not mad at that either. Smart way to do it.
You might not be mad. Akram gotta be fuming right now, though. Like, just one button is killing my chances to get into Capcom Cup. What a counter poke, though, with that stand fierce. Akram right now gonna take a huge amount of, gonna give a huge amount of damage. And Snowboy has to get out of this corner. That's gonna be a punish.
Yeah, oh no. Yeah, it seemed to miss it on the roll there. Trying to use the wall jump out of the corner, but hey, confirming a critical art, not going to even up the life bar, but definitely going to put a good chunk of damage on the board and put Snowboy at a little bit more comfortable position.
Yeah, more importantly than the damage was just getting him out of the corner. Just do not want to be here. Akram,
yeah, especially against... Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean,
especially against Lucia there. You mentioned this a few times now. Lucia is very strong in the corner, but talk about strength is Snowboy with small confirms.
No, that should have been a kill. Okay, do it. Just go into critical art. Yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And that'll be it. That'll be the first game for Akram.
Yeah. I definitely want to spend the points there at that, but now Akram has to stay locked in on Lucia, right, throughout the rest of this match, because you don't get a second chance to switch over to Colin. You have to stick with it and continue your route for the win. Snowboy has a chance, but yeah, I was gonna say I expect we'll see the Vega.
I wouldn't expect them to change at all. Right now, Akram, the biggest change has been better corner pressure, as well as some really opportune neutral moments, stuff like ground start, walk forward, stand fierce, these crouch medium punches, basically these counter pokes that even if they're somewhat risky, at the very least Akram always capitalizes on them, so the reward pays off in spades.
Yeah, and talk about reward here. Akram taking the reward with a nice anti-air, keep Snowboy in the corner. Snowboy just unfortunately having to take the throw. Just not really a scramble, just great control on Akram's part, and Snowboy looked a little lost.
I mean, that pressure was disgusting. That stand heavy kick reset off of the crush, the crumple that was the EX shoulder tackle. Very disgusting. I'm gonna have to speak to your officer because off of that reset. Nice use of the stand heavy punch again. Sweep activation. Snowboy doesn't want any of it. Uses the Virosa to get out. Okay, you're gonna spend the meter immediately. And what's nice about this is that basically that's 2 stand medium punches essentially of life left. So we can just kind of play it cool. I said play it cool, Snowboy, because right now you are just gonna get annihilated for trying to command grab there. Doesn't have the anti-air, but even then, this stand medium punch pressure is crazy tough.
Yeah, and has the activation. Beautiful punish on the fireball. That's the way to do it. Instead of defensively, let's use it offensively as an answer, right? Especially because Lucia's projectiles can be pretty impressive at most ranges if you're not careful. So great work from Snowboy, keeping it cool. He's got Snow in the name.
All right, looking chill with that EX roll through the fireball. Okay, command grab actually works out this time. Does he go for it again? Goes for the low, but it misconfirms into the roll. That's going to give Akram the opportunity that they need. They're going to activate here, cause some stagger pressure, and then throw. That's going to be the name of the game, and I think that's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be here. Yeah, because I think even with the scaling, right, it's... Yeah, I was going to say, even with the scaling, it's still in more than enough as Akram levels things out 2-2, bringing it back.
Yeah, those fire feats are melting Snowboy right now, and it's not looking superb because Akram right now is sticking to a pretty solid game plan, which is get a feel for when Snowboy wants to poke with stand medium punch and then just counter poke with stand heavy punch. You can eat 5 stand medium punches. It's fine. As long as I get the one stand heavy punch, we're good. It's in my favor.
Yeah. Oh man, missed the throw there, but no big punish from Snowboy. But hey, we pick things up. It's a 3-second rule. I still eat my food off the floor. Snowboy. But the V, it looked like the V shift away.
Ooh, no punish on the V skill. That's going to be, yeah, cancel to be safe. Snowboy challenging pretty well, though. Has a big life lead. Even though stuck in this corner, yeah, Akram probably getting a little scared in terms of this life deficit. Not wanting to get killed off of a stray hit. Goes for the big jump in, gets air thrown. And Snowboy going to put himself again on set point.
Yeah, taking it over Akram right now and looking for a chance to make it into winners finals and for some big points to follow here, but playing the same tail, big life lead at that is Snowboy, but the activation going to not quite even things out, but definitely put Snowboy in the corner here.
Yeah, that baton working pretty well. It's so bad that the stun is that high because that's dead. I don't even know if he has to use the entirety of his resources here.
No, I think he would still need to utilize critical art to close it out.
Yeah, he does. Yep. So how much of that was unnecessary?
What a
if he was just gonna do critical art at the end anyway.
I think none of this was unnecessary. I'm not sure it was.
You show off. Anyway, it is double set point right now. I think Snowboy was making some really nice adjustments in that last round, though. They were doing walk-up throw to call out the counter pokes. They just got a little greedy in terms of like the shimmy right before tragedy struck. But was that kill?
No, unfortunate. Just slightly mistimed, I think, because it looked like to be a punish on the fireball. But hey, there's a punish on the fireball there with the activation from Snowboy. Ooh.
This is going to be a really spaghetti set now, because without the claw, Snowboy has to fight at close range. That being said, we might not even see that come out, because Akram has such a significant life lead. Any hit will kill. Goes up for the walk-up throw. What a tech, but walks up crouch light punch, and that'll do it. Akram, reverse 3-0 Snowboy in our winner's final set.
I know. What
excuse me, this is not winner's final. Excuse me, this is top 8, but that felt like winner's final. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. That felt like winner's finals. That was a set. That was a good set.
Yep. And I love to see some good Street Fighter as we move through the top 8 bracket. Now Akram securing his spot into winners finals. Snowboy down into losers quarterfinals to face off against the winner between Garnet and Clone. But we're still on the winner side of things as we have Geeko and Mr. Wolf. Now we did get the rest of our top 8 bracket. We have on loser side of things Garnet versus Clone and Maeve versus Gambinera to round things out. Now, a lot of names we're familiar with, right? But a couple people that not so much. You got Snowboy and Maeve, who, although aren't on the current top 8, are definitely rounding things out and getting close up there. So they have more than enough opportunity. A, they're already getting confirmed points, but B, potentially getting more points and moving some people down, since we didn't see Takamura, we don't see Datomago, and we also don't see Jin in top 8.
Oh, who do we... Oh, okay, so it's in loser side, Garnet and Clone. Clone I don't really recognize. Maeve we saw earlier, and Gambinera.
Yeah. So, and, you know, we've seen Geeko, we've seen Mr. Wolf, Akram, Gambinera, and Garnet all already on the top 8 roster. So they're going to get some more confirmed points and kind of continue to secure their spot. But I'm interested to see how the rest of this pans out. But we're going to pan right into our next match. We have Mr. Wolf versus Geeko.
Now, I think this is a matchup that I want to say Wolf picks Seth here. They have a Nikali. I know they have a Nikali. And the Nikali is like, ironically enough, the Wild Man is actually like the suit and tie character, where it's like, you show up, I feel like I can just take this clean. Like this, I don't have to do anything crazy to get the win here. Seth is like, no, I need my mix up into 500 damage to kill this guy. That's what I need.
Right. Yeah,
And,
we're gonna
they're
see
go-
this. Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna see the Seth though being brought out, and understandably so. I think that Callie would have struggled a little bit against that matchup there. And the V, yeah, we're still seeing the V skill 1 V trigger 2 action as we saw previously. So not mad at that necessarily as well, especially because of what you get off of, I believe, tandem engine is what the V skill 1 is called. Chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's got like 5 different moves named tandem something.
Tandem maneuver, tandem engine. It's all good and done. That being said, Geeko not letting him show off any of those moves, has the corner pressure, gets the counter hit, and this is the downside to playing Seth right now. I think this is dead. Holy Christ.
God
With
damn.
30 seconds flat. Geeko taking round number 1.
Cammy packs a punch, man. She's no joke.
To be fair, anyone packs a punch against this 900 health glass cannon. But then again, that can be said for both sides. Both Seth and Cammy and Akuma all have 900 health and stun. Nice V reversal. I like that.
That's wild. That little health. Man, yeah, every confirm is going to count here on either side of things. Double dash in. Ooh, but the V reversal. I like that as an answer.
Yeah, especially against some of Seth's more obnoxious normals like forward heavy punch or forward medium punch, excuse me. They're basically guaranteed.
No, you're absolutely right, especially because you get to maintain that pressure here. And I think Seth does a pretty good job of maintaining pressure. Has some decent range on his normals. But activation time doesn't need the range, just needs something to confirm. Big damage to follow the dash up, but oh no, misses! The wake up option. Mr. Wolf gonna capitalize on it and take the round.
I love so if y'all haven't seen V trigger 2 in action from Wolf, it basically that orb can be moved in like I think 8 different directions and I think up to 4 times or something like that. And you notice that in that one circumstance, he just let the orb stay still. It was not to call out an immediate button press. It was because the V reversal from Cammy switches sides. So they wanted to make sure that if that V reversal happens, they could move the orb back and punish her for it. And it just kind of worked out that if he had left standing still, Geeko was still going to press buttons into it anyway.
No, I like that that analysis there because it's great situational awareness from Mr. Wolf, especially because you do a call out, you negate additional options that Geeko would have. Talking about call outs, very confident, quick and easy throw into the corner, but not for long. Geeko utilizes the activation to find his way out.
Okay, this is going to be the activation route. No V reversal means you have to hold this mix.
Yep.
Which side? Oh, good block. Great block from Geeko there. Gets in with a dive kick. No blocking that. Not enough to kill, but you know what? You guessed wrong. You got hit by the frame trap. Geeko gonna take game number 1. Not without sweating. Not without some sweat.
No. Yeah, but I mean, Geeko looking calm, cool, and collected. Might have to change his name to Snowboy with how cool he was able to maintain his composure in that round, especially against the activation, right? He had to be able to block and know how that orb is going to be manipulated. So I gotta give props to Geeko on that one.
Yeah, probably been looking over some of the sets that Wolf has had against players like Takamura, the others from top 8, because man, those mix-ups are dirty, but if you can get a slight read on them, or even just a slight visual awareness of them, you can block it out. Right now, Geeko trying to play passively here, gets the back throw on the -2. Yeah,
that was a beautiful punish too, because the spacing just wasn't quite right there for Mr. Wolf on the V skill. I like it. I like it. The situational awareness, right? Knowing where to punish and how far that's going to take you. Talk about taking you into the corners, Geeko, but not for long.
Yeah, gonna activate off of this because you can't really easily escape this mix-up here. Yeah, the V-shift gonna keep you locked down, but not plus enough. Geeko challenges and still keeps their life lead.
Yeah, I honestly thought he might have got hit by that, but no. A little bit of that invincibility, maybe? It worked out in his favor here, but it's going to work out for long. Activation time, and that does it. Geeko puts another round on the board.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Wolf right now struggling to maintain, or I shouldn't say maintain. He's struggling to find early life leads, and that forces him to play a little extra aggressive. And Geeko's probably one of the better defensive Cammy players I see, to be honest. Like their anti-airs are usually on point. Their whiff punishes are really solid as well. So they're not one to easily fall prey to stuff like dive kicks and dash-ins. At least not without some good conditioning.
Right, and we're not really seeing much of an air approach either from Mr. Wolf. He's been playing pretty close to the ground, but you mentioned this earlier in the bracket too. Geeko has good neutral and good control on the ground too, so that might be why Mr. Wolf is struggling here a little bit.
Mayhaps. He really got the shimmy on that -2 again, because the tandem, the suck, at least it's -2, so like you can't be punished, but like at the very least, it gives your opponent a pressure situation if it gets blocked. So, and Cammy in your face when you're -2 is just terrible, just god awful.
It's not fun for anyone except Cammy. I like that name, by the way. Instead of tandem engine, it's just the suck, right? Yeah, the big suck. Because it's gonna suck for you, and it's also what he does.
I didn't think about it like that, but yeah, you are right. Oh man! All right, now life is pretty even. Ooh, that should be an activation point. No, it doesn't go for it.
Yeah. Oh, got hit with the overhead. There's the activation point. And unfortunately, Geeko not staying cool and composed in that round. Got hit with it. Mr. Wolf taking the round. Looking to put one on the board, but Geeko also got one himself.
Okay, some anti-airs missing from Mr. Wolf, which is slightly out of character. Definitely means that they're focusing much more on the ground game, which, you know, might be an advantage for Geeko there. Because if they don't have to think about jumping in, if they're just getting freeze, like that makes the set a lot easier.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, small jump in there, immediately got anti-aired for it. So I like the awareness from Geeko. He is prepared for anything and trying to out-neutral Mr. Wolf here. Just small confirms chipping away. And with a nice life lead. Oh no! The DP missed! The arc is so weird on that, and the confirm into critical art puts a huge life deficit here for Geeko. The missed throw. Tragedy struck Mr. Wolf. Big Bad Wolf no more. The house is not quite blown down just yet. Geeko taking it 2-0, or not taking it just yet, but pretty dang close. 2-0 right now.
It's definitely feeling that way.
Oh no, I feel it. You don't even have to say it. You don't even have to say it, I know.
You know you can't win a 1-3 with 2 games.
I don't know.
You don't even have to say it. I already know what's about to happen.
Yeah, you're fired.
I know.
I don't know. Sometimes you just beat the opponent so bad that they're just like, I don't even want to.
Mentally, right? And we see that with the stun and potentially the perfect here, but the wake up EXDP, the call out.
Gets the mix up. This is a huge amount of damage and a nice mount for the comeback. Tries for the double dash, doesn't get hit out of it, but the stun is very high. Thankfully, the V-trigger activation slows down time and allows Geeko to see the dive kick and anti-air it with DP.
Yeah, control on the ground and control in outer space. The Cammy Space program has had plenty of funding to be able to close that down. By funding, I mean meter and activation point here. Geeko sitting at match point.
Ooh, this is a nice amount of damage. Yeah, okay, just goes for the extension. That's always been a buff that Seth's gotten since I think like season 4. And it's always been very unique. Rarely see people actually pull it out, but Mr. Wolf styling with it. That being said, Geeko gets a nice hit confirm into their V-trigger combo, spends the entire bar immediately, which I approve. Oh, that easy kill. No meter?
No meter to be had. But Mr. Wolf, I expect confirm, yep, into critical art there. I don't think this is going to be enough to kill because of the scaling, but it's a big chunk of damage and a small life lead out of that. Yes, I think that was a missed throw.
Oh yeah, no, that was the shimmy on Geeko's part at the very end. I mean, I have to look back at it. I would hate to see that Mr. Wolf had the kill and decided to go for a non-metered punish, and because of that, just let the round go. But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's a 3-0, and Mr. Wolf is going to have to move down into loser's side, where I'm sure they're going to give their opponents hell down there, but Kiko's going to sit nice and pretty in winners finals, where he will be going up against Akram in a short bit. In the meantime, speaking of the hell down below, we're going to be seeing Garnet versus Clone, who I actually don't have as much familiarity with. We saw Garnet with their Fong, probably one of the strongest Fongs in EU, like the three Fong kings, the three fabled Fong kings out in the EU. Garnet is one of them, but Clone, I actually don't know who they play.
Yeah, they don't even have their Twitter. I can't cheat the system and look at their Twitter on StarGG. So a little bit of a guessing game for us. But if chat knows, please educate us. We are always down to learn. But familiar name, his opponent, right? I think we saw him a little earlier today. Seen a lot of matches already.
Oh, Garnet, as mentioned, the Fong.
Yeah.
I mean, Fong, a character who he plays Nash. Oof, that sucks. Okay, so Fong is a character who has very, their matchup spread is pretty wide, where they have some matchups that they just despise and some that they do really well against. And I think Nash is on a tricky end where a lot of Nash's better normals get low profiled by the crouching, by the coward crouch. So that makes counter poking relatively easy for Fong. And then if Nash wants to play the Fireball game plan, Fong's own EX command dash, even just the regular command dash, goes over those booms really well. He controls, he anti-fireballs really well. So Nash is not the best matchup.
No, Nash, one of the slowest walk speeds in the game, actually. And also not a lot of health behind it, too. Only 975, which really isn't much to play with. So you have to play really, really carefully. And especially with such a slow walk speed, I think Garnet's going to have a lot easier time maintaining control over the space. But Nash does have, that slower projectile that takes up a lot more screen space. So it doesn't mean that Garnet gets to, get out of jail free card, and gets to move willy-nilly. You have to contend with the sonic boom.
Yeah, and even then, you could see situations like Garnet maybe just not being fully cognizant of some of Nash's options, including, I don't know which V-trigger they're going to pick. I don't even know if they're going to pick Nash. So if they don't pick Nash, I'm going to yell at Capcom again to please let me see the character select. Thankfully, they do. Thankfully, they pick the character that we expected them to. And they're going to run with V-trigger 1 and V-trigger 2 and V-skill 2, which is a unique kind of setup that you don't see a lot of Nashes go for it, but the ones that do, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I love this costume color, by the way. It's very fitting for the month of October.
Okay. Did you just see him low profile the bullet knee? That was disgusting. Garnet gonna nearly get a perfect off of that.
And look at the health just melting away because of the poison at that. And already setting up for additional poison here. Activation doesn't really get much off of it, but the throw does for Garnet. Big confidence start. And that would have been a perfect if it wasn't for that little bit of a small confirm.
Yeah, the little bit of gray life. Don't get it twisted. That was a perfect.
Yeah.
And it's looking like we nearly get a second one here. Thankfully, Clone actually gets a little bit of a hit. Awkward crush counter that Garnet just kind of falls for. And absorbs some meter there. We're going to activate. Yeah, tries for the reset. Instead, gets a crush counter because Garnet, being a little willy-nilly with the V shift. And now Clone, getting good corner pressure, still has a little bit of V-trigger left. Unfortunately, doesn't punish the sweep and lets Garnet get away.
Yeah, and a great opportunity to utilize V reversal, right? Other side of things here, and they confirm the throw, melting things away along with the poison. That's when the poison's really strong, right? You don't really see that strength at the start of the match, but when we are coming down to the wire, it adds just a little extra mileage for Garnet to carry him into the W and into the first point of the match. And this is loser's side of things too. No do-overs out here, baby.
I just saw forward medium kick him with punish 3 times, and it's like, nerfs hurt, man. Nerfs hurt. There's the throw.
Talk about hurt.
He's trying to make this forward medium kick work, and I get it. It's like a really strong poke, advancing poke, I should say. But like, Garnet just is not giving a care in the world. Like, he's just playing his game, just like waiting for you to do something with punish. Oh, I'm gonna do coward scratch now. Oh, you got low profile. Garnet right now, I almost said we're on set point because Garnet has been in such good control of this entire set.
This is Garnet's world, and we're just living in it. Great punish with the round start on the charge up with the V skill there. But the chase down from Clone doesn't get a lot. But hey, you know what? We do it a second time around. V reversal out of the corner.
Right now, you need to get out of this corner. Yeah, thankfully, text the throw. It back jumps. Just do not want. I have the life lead. You have to come to me now. Oh no, tries to jump on top of him, gets hit by that purple stuff. And right now, Garnet actually mounting a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah, the poison playing a huge detriment here. One hit to stun! Hey, you know what? The low profile. Oh,
I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know what Clone was pressing when he woke up. We got just raw counter hit.
Yeah, this is looking really unfortunate here for Clone. It just seems like when we're coming to about half health, Clone is just struggling to maintain his composure against the aggressive nature of Garnet.
It's screwed up in two ways, because on one hand, Clone is having a tough time getting in, and on the other hand, he's also having a hard time keeping Garnet out. It's like, if I want to play defensive, I'm at a disadvantage. If I want to play offensive, I'm at a disadvantage. And it just kind of speaks to how this matchup kind of doesn't work out for Nash in some ways. That being said, these mix-ups are not giving Clone any favors. Garnet going in with the pressure still, tries to get cheeky with it. Clone calls them out and is going to get an activation route with it. Steal a little meter on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And that works out in his favor here, but you got to be careful, especially with such a huge life lead for Garnet. He can afford to take his time on this and play things safe, but you gotta be wary because the rogue has a lot packed behind it.
Okay, jumps back a little bit. No, unfortunately the V-trigger doesn't get him past the poison ball.
Yeah, I think he's also not so familiar with the matchup. It seems like he dashed into the
well, the V-trigger dash, it does have projectile invincibility. It just, when it gets projectile invincibility, is a little awkward, and I think he just he didn't time it well enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you can afford to take some of that projectile poison damage at the start of the round, right? Because you have so much health, but as we kind of narrow things in, you have to be really, really cautious because it packs a punch, and especially with a nice confirm behind it. We've seen that multiple times now close things out for Garnet. Talking about close things out, already sitting at match point. Beautiful anti-air though.
Yeah, need more stuff like that. Much more solid, kind of composed game plan. See, there you go, right through the fireballs there, resets the pressure. Unfortunately, that's what most of that V-trigger is going to be spent towards, is probably resetting pressure if Clone cannot get a solid hit. Yeah, sets the pressure. Unfortunately, doesn't combo off of it. Backdash gets hit by the crouch fears, but only does a little damage to Garnet, who's able to V-reversal out of the moonsault and punish it.
Fang is actually able to punish this. Other characters can only V-reversal it and be like, get away, but Fang can like get away and then sweep right after.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Clone. Still gonna get some points on the board, right? But not gonna carry him forward as Garnet faces off against Mr. Wolf in loser quarterfinals. But before we move on that side of things, we still have Maeve versus Gambonera. Now, the one thing I want to comment on that I think Clone did a pretty okay job, or I would say even decent job at, right, is the fact that he did utilize the Sonic Boom to take up that space and force either Garnet to block or to try and jump over, or I mean, I guess even throw out, you know, some kind of poison projectile to negate it. It either keeps him at bay or forces him to jump, which we saw in that last match gave him the beautiful confirm on the scythe kick, or the EX scythe, I believe it was, as an anti-air option.
Yeah, no. When Clone was able to play the gameplay that he's used to and comfortable with Nash, like, it looks solid, and you can understand how he even got to a top 8 seeding. It definitely came down to the nitty-gritty details of the Fong matchup, though, that he just looked uncomfortable with and tried to force some situations that he got punished with. So, as Rias brought up, it might be some matchup unfamiliarity. It might just be some even matchup uncomfortability. There's sometimes that you know what the matchup is, but it just makes you so uncomfortable that you just do the wrong thing anyway. So, unfortunately, that's how it's going to play out. But speaking of uncomfortable matchups, I'm sorry, Flexus. I don't think we're going to get to see the Dan today, because Dan against Chun, that's just not a fun time. That's just not a fun time at all.
Not at all. I think Ken definitely sits a little bit more comfortably for that, and especially with what's on the line here, I wouldn't be wanting to bring something out of pocket like that. But who knows, right? The screen will tell us all. But what we do know is Maeve in top 8 versus Gambinera for a chance to face off against Snowboy in losers quarterfinals. Maeve playing extraordinarily well, composed, controlled. I have no complaints. I like to see a Chun-Li in top 8 too. So, see coming into it here.
Okay, let's let it roll and see who they're picking. It
Yep.
is
Oh!
the Dan.
Let's go.
The one thing I will say is that when Dan gets in, it's a good time. It's a real good time for Dan. So maybe that's the mentality behind it. Maybe some counter pokes with crouch fierce into Dan kicks that will let him get in, or maybe just raw jumps. Maybe we just jump in.
Yeah, why not? Chun-Li has to be prepared with her anti-air, right? Because her light kick has a really weird range, and trying to set up back standing heavy kick a lot slower, so you really have to be prepared for it. And I think Dan can do a pretty decent job at an air poke. So great. Ooh.
Good lord. You'd almost think this is a script, how much Maeve is falling into Gambinera's game plan. Thankfully, getting a nice pickup on these V-trigger combos. Gets caught trying to shimmy with a crouch medium kick. Gives him the bird on the way out, though. Gets over with that jump. And right now, we have very even life with one approach from Gambinera, which is going to be the EX Dan kicks. How's it feel? How's it feel to eat the -2 on block EX forward?
It's never good. It's never good.
It's payback. That's what it is. For all these years of EX legs. Ooh,
yeah,
okay, nice.
we gotta take it sometimes. There's a Dan legs back into the neutral here and out of the corner. Small confirms on Maeve's part, but not quite enough to carry any forward momentum. But Gambinera going to take that oppression that Dan does so well at. You mentioned this at the start of the round, right? He can really be oppressive when he has the opportunity to, but Maeve not giving him a chance.
Surprised Maeve didn't activate off that. Have to hold those plus frames. Yeah, blocks for their life right now. And, oh no, tries to challenge the fireball and gets hit for it. Gambinera, taking game number 1 in, I'm going to say Dan fashion.
Yeah, honestly. And we talked about this at the start, right? This isn't necessarily a matchup on paper that would look like it's in his favor, but what's on paper is not always the tale that is told on screen, as we saw Gambinera take it very convincingly over Maeve. Now, that isn't to say that Maeve hasn't done well so far, but I think just getting hit with some of the projectiles and trying to find a way to deal with it is really where he's been struggling. And that's a hard thing for Chun too, because she doesn't have a ton of options. She could do a crouching medium punch, she can do EX legs, she can do a jump in, right? But in some cases you have to spend meter. Wall jump out of the corner though, no meter needed.
Alright, V shifts away. I mean, V meter is cheap in these matchups with Dan, because he just builds V meter for both sides so well. Now, I think Gambinera uses that to his advantage. I don't think we've seen Maeve really use it to their advantage yet. No punish on the blocked overhead. Maeve just blocking for their life right now.
Yeah, and tons of meter to follow, but got hit with the low. Gambinera putting another round on the board. Maeve's got a lot of resources, but I'm not really seeing him find opportunities to use it.
There's some situations, especially when, honestly, and I've come to find out this is gonna be a fresh counter.
Nice
Forget
punish.
forget the analysis. We're gonna be in a tight situation here. Stun is relatively high. Maeve has an opportunity, but gets cross-cut on their jump-in attempt, and now this is Combinera's world. Oh my god, not like this.
Yeah. Oh, but we have meter, so we are gonna wake up with an EX spinning bird kick the call out here. First time we're seeing it introduced, but second time works as well. Oh, interesting interaction there.
No anti-air again. Probably would have been too late with the light kick anyway. Gets the last shimmy, and Combinera takes what was a pretty desperate round at the beginning with that corner situation, and just gives a little bit of chaos and takes it anyway. Oof.
Yeah, but isn't Dan just in general a little bit of chaos? Adds a little flavor in life, and I'm not complaining to see it. But I'd be complaining if I was Maeve right now, because Combinera up 2-0 over Maeve.
Maeve sticking to it. There's a couple things I could see, and like Dan is kind of unique in this avenue where you can be liberal with your use of B reversal and B shift because Dan with his V skill builds you so much V meter anyway. So you actually are getting a lot more V meter than you're probably accustomed to. Unfortunately, that neutral jump, there's just no getting around that. Doesn't get shimmied this time, but still has to hold this pressure. Gonna hold it, not even use V reversal. Checks it with the light, and then tries to go in like any other kid, like he would against any other kid.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen that activation come into play here, and we're not going to see it come into play again as we come into the next round. Combinera sitting at set point.
That was such a combo off of the fireball into toe tap into like this character's combo routing is so crazy. Oh yeah, that combos too. Oh, Combinera, you're crazy.
He's a kooky guy. Oh, talk about kooky though. The EX fireball that lands its mark here, and one hits a stun if you're Combinera, but you gotta be careful.
Oh, thankfully that didn't combo there. And there's the stun. This is gonna close it out. Yeah. That should be easy.
As long as he doesn't drop it, and he doesn't. That could have been risky too, because he could have gone for legs. I don't know if maybe EX legs. I wasn't sure about the meter situation there. You gotta be able to be confident on that timing with the fireball into V trigger. So Maeve definitely showing how clean he can play, but is it clean enough as Governor sits at set point?
That was a clean crosscut right there, allowing them to continue this pressure. Combinera right now has to be given the bird to get off. Thankfully, Maeve able to get that nice hit confirm into the V trigger. Has to deal with this fireball here. Just has to hold that.
Yep. And ooh, talk about holding that there. The EX legs double dashing. Oh no. Nothing off of it.
Nice neutral jump, but unfortunately doesn't get a punish for it.
No, but still has a bar of meter. There's the activation, negates the fireball approach here. One hit could do it either way potentially, or one confirm. The low definitely will. That crouching medium kick has quite a bit of range. It's almost not quite ambiguous, but it's deceptive.
Yeah, I mean, it works really well as a poke. You just can't walk in on the character when she has that at her axis. That being said, I think Combinera is a player that can pick up on that sort of stuff and maybe start using stuff like raw light Dan knee to just like get that high profile, hop right over it. So if Maeve starts relying on it a little too much, that could be a problem. But what's a problem right now is this corner pressure. Nearly spaced enough, and Maeve just not even willing to challenge. Thankfully, gets a nice challenge at that close range situation, but gets jumped in upon. Done, but it's real close.
Absolutely. Doesn't even need the stun to close it out. Again, Combinera sitting at match point.
Like, I feel like there's some... I mentioned the V meter that hasn't been really used for Maeve yet. That could help them avoid the pressure situations. Another thing to help avoid with the fireballs is V-Skill 2, honestly. I feel like it's something that a lot of people have picked up on. Oh my god, here's the Dan knees. Oh my god, here we go.
Yep.
Side switch. Yep. And that should be enough to... Done, I think. Yeah, that is it.
And as long as he doesn't drop it here, yep, able to close it out. Gabanera stands to live another day and stands to face off against Snowboy. I wanted to mention this. I think I am just so tickled by every time you say Chun's giving the bird or does the bird. it's
Have you never heard of that?
not in that phrasing, no. I mean, I get All right. Okay. We're
so
going to push forward. I think we're going to push forward. We're going to kind of move through the bracket a little bit quicker. So my guess is we're not going to be streaming all of the rest of the top 8. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
my bad.
Yeah. No
Don't mind me. I don't know anything. I've been fired twice. I'm sure. Okay.
I see.
No
I
ads.
see. But that being
as
said,
we get... Oh, I was going to say, as we get into the rest of it, you know, we can still talk a little bit while we're waiting for our matches to come up next. So make sure you guys go follow Saltmine Link. They got YouTube, they got Twitter, they got everything in between, as well as Twitch. And it's a lot of fun. You know, they host a lot of the EU tournaments, and they have been for a long time. Really been a foothold in EU for a while, and if you're interested in competing in these tournaments, you guys can definitely go and enter them in yourself, especially with the World Warrior tournaments. They are worldwide. There's ones for just about every region across the 7 seas per se. What do we have? We have EU East, EU West, the Baltic Nordic region, Germany. Forgetting one.
Okay, so
which one?
Right now, if you want to look at the schedule, keep on top of the Twitter. I never know the schedule, never ever, because I'm unprofessional. But anyway, we got up next. We got Wolf. We got I saw the Fong, so it had to be Garnet. Yeah, so it's Wolf and Garnet up next in losers quarterfinals. I think this is a matchup that Wolf picks Nikali. I'm pretty sure this is a matchup he picks Nikali in. Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Because again, suit and tie. You don't get time to mess around with against Fong. Fong starts messing with you. So it's Wolf. I feel like half this tournament is a team kill match, though. There's so much of Italy represented in this tournament.
Yeah, it is.
But they are really sponsored.
Oh, specific, yes. SYG,
Yeah.
I did forget, yeah.
Yeah. Big control here. You mentioned the suit and tie and the composure to follow. The man doesn't even have to straighten things out. He already has it clean here against Garnet. Nice convincing round start here for Mr. Wolf.
That DP was just, no, my turn, you're done pressing buttons. Thankfully, Garnet is able to press some more buttons with that wake up option. Tries to get through the EX Cloud, unfortunately too many strikes. But Wolf still has a life lead. After all that, after all the work Garnet just put through, Wolf still has a significant life lead, gets a solid anti-air, a meaty stand light kick into a target combo. And Wolf is going to take round 1 in, I won't say convincing fashion. Garnet obviously still has 3 games, still has enough time to make a comeback here. But Wolf just looking so solid right off the bat.
Oh, absolutely. And at that here with a nice round start and the life lead to follow. I like the dash and the confidence being I'm not afraid of the poison at this point. But talk about poison. The double poison ball is a great answer to the ground pound. It's a beautiful punish. It's easy, it's safe. You really can't complain too much.
Yeah, anytime Nikali trades with the V skill, it's in his favor because he gains more V meter, and this is a character that loves having his V trigger.
It's just because that lasts him through the entire round here. But talk about spending a huge chunk of the round in the corners. Mr. Wolf able to close it out though, and put one on the board.
Nikali wins.
Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, Wolf taking game number 1. I feel like I've seen this before. I had to have seen this before, and I do feel like Wolf is a player that, you know, they're part of the same team. They must have fought each other many times. They're one of the people that genuinely knows how to play the Fong matchup, and that gives them such an advantage over other opponents that Garnet might have to fight.
Yeah, but a different tale to be told with the stun at that. Not quite enough to close it out, but hey, the throw sure will. Garnet
Round 2.
bringing things back. Definitely bringing things back, especially compared to the last match that we saw. It really looked like Mr. Wolf had pretty genuine control over things, but you know, Garnet learning his lesson, even if it's the hard way.
Okay. Yeah, Wolf not having a good round, but that being said, playing solid on the defense, finally gets a knockdown with the V skill. Just going to start building that V meter. Just jumps right through the poison ball. And that's one thing that I will say, like, a lot of people don't remember that V skill poison ball actually has no hitbox. It's not going to put you in hit stun or anything. So you can just dash right through it and take your turn. And Wolf is definitely one to take advantage of that fact.
Oh yeah, we saw that in the first round where he just dashed right into it because it gives him some nice forward approach. But you got to be careful because unlike the V skill, throwing out the actual poison ball does hit you and put you in either block stun or get some damage on the board here. But Mr. Wolf with the life lead, hey, he can accept that, and he can also accept the ground pound.
Yeah, no setting up those poison balls when that instant strike from the V skill is going to happen. Like Wolf, even though you don't see them playing Nikali nearly as much as you probably did in the earlier days, just really stellar with this character all the way through.
Yeah, talk about stellar though. Huge damage to follow, and just seeing the life melt before his eyes. Garnet with a huge lead at that, but now his activation time. This is when Nikali is scariest the most because he has so much behind his moveset.
Oh my god, he just dashes in, just goes right in. Wolf is not scared with this life deficit. Trades. Right now has to go in. Takes a throw. This is a throw loop, by the way. Tries for the instant overhead. Thankfully, it's blocked. But Wolf does allow Garnet to get away, and the second instant overhead will do what the first couldn't. 1-1 in the set.
The fade away. He was ready with it. Garnet just bringing things back. You think he's going to struggle coming into this, but I mean, he had such a convincing match against Clone that I feel like that's really carrying his confidence into this one.
Ooh, what a dive kick. Unfortunately, doesn't get the combo that he wants and gets punished for the bad ender.
Yeah, and you gotta be careful because you don't want too much Grey Life to be built. Seeing that right there, a big damage behind a small confirm. Initially, anyway, Garnet just... I don't know, man. He's looking like a gem right now.
I mean, Wolf is helping them out a little bit in having some whip TPs, having some misinputs, some drop combos on the dive kicks. So, you know, the first game went in Wolf's favor largely because of how solid Wolf's gameplay has been. The same can't be said about this game, at least. Thankfully gets the EX command grab. Guess for game here. Nice tech. Goes with the sleeve sneeze, as I like to call it, and then challenges. Wolf is going to take the round, not without sweating a little.
You know, I feel like Fong is the kind of character that would sneeze into his like sleeve and then like wipe boogers on it. Ew! It's so gross! As if I couldn't dislike Fong anymore. Now I have another reason to, and I'd definitely be disliking him if I was Mr. Wolf at the moment. The slide into the face, but we're ready with the EXDP.
Okay, getting in a little cheekily. Wolf checking it though.
Yeah, I like that too. Using the what was that, the V reversal offensively to keep him in the corner.
Yep. Ooh, but the V shift calls out the V reversal there. Nice use. Doesn't get a lot of pressure from it, only get the damage that they got. And unfortunately, you're going to need both if you're going to make this round count.
Yeah. One hit could do it either way, especially as the health is slowly whittling down. The slide into it.
That was really smart from Garnet. Now,
yeah.
If Wolf is on his game, he can react to the fireball toss from Garnet and do V skill. But that fireball can be canceled into the EX command dash, which is invincible frame 1. So that's what Garnet was kind of expecting. He was expecting Wolf to go for the V skill and then use the EX command dash to get around and punish it. That was really nice.
Yeah, and great control right now from Garnet, but the small confirm into activation, and now you gotta worry about Necalli's V trigger, right? Doesn't go away throughout the entire match. And Garnet doesn't have anything to work with no meter, and we're seeing that too as Mr. Wolf misses it. Doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
No!
He was feeling it. He was feeling it right there. Garnet gonna take game number 3 with just some good reads on how Wolf deals with pressure.
Yeah. Honestly. Got really greedy. The first one didn't land, he got punished for it, and the second one didn't land as well. Got punished it, and going to have to eat that as well.
It's okay.
So,
it's okay, Wolf. I DP twice too. I do it too.
You gotta get it out of your system, you know? Sometimes there's just an urge, right? You gotta get out of your system, and hopefully he got it out so he doesn't have to take an L as Garnet sits 1 up against Mr. Wolf.
I mean, like, there's some people that just can't be trusted with a DP. I'm one of those people. I'm on a no DP list. And Wolf right now about to be an applicant to that as well. Thankfully, Garnet is controlling things pretty well for themselves, but Wolf gets in, gonna get a nice knockdown with this. Can they keep the corner? No! They let Garnet just fly away. Thankfully, the rush down is still so strong, and that'll easily kill.
Oh, absolutely. No, and that puts Mr. Wolf in a really nice position because he does have full meter to carry him into the next round, but also, you know, can afford to have some wiggle room at that, especially because it's not quite match point yet. But beautiful anti-air, beautiful. Put it in a museum. He was ready with it.
All right, +1 goes for the dash in, a little cheeky, but it actually catches Garnet off guard.
Right, the jump away creates some space around there, especially because of the slide in from Fong.
Keep it clean. Ooh, wow, catches the startup of the V skill. Wolf right now just sitting pretty with this life lead. Eats a air to air, and even then the V shift gives them back. Not only destroys the poison application, but gives them a little bit of a great life against Garnet. See, the sleeve sneeze comes right out. There comes the low. Garnet getting a little fancy right now. All right,
Yep.
for a loop.
Fancy with the suit and tie here, but I don't know. You got to make sure your shoes are clean too, and he definitely polishes that before every match. At least when he's Necalli.
I mean, he's polished it right now. We're 2-all in the set, stopping the momentum that Garnet was having to nearly take a 3-0. That being said, I think Wolf has found something that Garnet is a little hesitant in, and it's that Garnet is definitely not looking for these dash-ins. He sees Wolf dash in, then recognizes it, then tries to challenge with Fong's admittedly slower normals. He only has 4-frame lights, and by that point, Wolf's in his face with that 5-frame stand medium kick, if not just a stand light punch. So Garnet's gonna have to be better about checking those dash-ins, unless they just want to go full aggro. And right now, Wolf is nearly stunned.
Yeah, you gotta be kidding. Yep, there's the stun right there, and setting it up with the poison to get a little extra mileage out of that damage. Not enough to close things out, though. Garnet finds his activation point here. Gets the wall, bounce back into the neutral.
These dashes are doing so much work for Mr. Wolf.
They're both going in super hard all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
It really works out for Wolf, especially when they have V-trigger, because that dash, like the dash, even though the speed of the dash doesn't change, the range drastically increases.
Oh, yeah.
So it can really catch you off guard if you're used to Necalli's normal dash range.
Yeah, and I mean, even though these two players are top players, so we have to take into account that Fong not the most common pick, and neither is Necalli, so you really have to be familiar with the matchup here. But we're seeing a lot of that familiarity coming from Garnet as he sits at match point. V shift away. I love the defensive option. EU definitely gets it right.
Okay. Takes the throw. Evens things out right now. Even though Garnet has a life lead, Mr. Wolf can do so much damage with a single hit confirm. Tries to counter poke. Thankfully, the anti-air gets stuffed, but that doesn't link like that. I think that should be it. Garnet, no!
No, that definitely is miss the DP, and it is a heartbreaking moment for Mr. Wolf. But talk about no heartbreak here if you are Garnet.
The World Warrior events is already out of the tournament.
Wow.
Yeah.
He still gets some points, though. He still gets some points.
And Garnet took World Warrior 2, right? Am I crazy? I think Garnet took one of these, didn't they?
We'll find out shortly, but we're also going to find out Snowboy versus Gambinera.
I know Gigo
Alright.
won the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, Gigo won the first one. I thought Garnet won the second one, and then Wolf won the last two.
Yeah, true.
Oh no, there's only been
No,
3. I'm stupid.
yeah. Yeah,
You're fired.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, you don't get to do that to me, all right? Only
can't-
it's
Yeah,
you can't fire people. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway. Anyway.
I think it's funny
Now-
right now
now
because I'm
they-
seeing the
Going in
The
on
ad
each
play?
other.
I was gonna say it's funny because I'm seeing the ad play on Twitch, and so but I see the fired, and I'm like, do people know the context, or they're just seeing the fired and they just know? That
Oh,
someone
everybody
messed up?
in Saltmine League knows the
I
fire.
mean, there's
Oh, yeah.
nothing we can do against Twitch ads. So.
Oh, what
No.
what you can do? I mean, you're already if you're still watching this,
You
then
can subscribe to the
you should
channel. then
subscribe. You can
don't
keep
see-
subscribing to the channel. Avoid these. Oh my god! The slight aside, right? So Street Fighter 6 beta comes out. I didn't initially have a key. Don't want to talk about that. Anyway, point being, I was looking for Lukes that were streaming, right? And nobody was playing Luke in this beta. Found one dude playing Luke. And I was like, oh, okay. And he didn't really know what was on, so I was like trying to teach him stuff. And then like it was near like a 5-minute ad roll before I could see it. And I'm like, do I just subscribe to this dude to skip this ad roll?
Saltmine League yesterday.
I know, I should have.
Soundboy won the Street Fighter beta tournament with Luke.
Well, someone was very generous to give me a code, thankfully. So I just started playing the game myself. But
Yes.
yeah,
I'm
it's
excited.
Soundboy
I don't know,
won
I'm
with
excited
Luke
for
yesterday.
yeah, Soundboy just playing the solid Luke.
I don't know. I'm a Jamie lover through and through, so I will always root for a Jamie over anything and everyone.
He is a
But
pretty
no
boy.
Jamie here as we get into it with Snowboy versus Gambinera. So not privileged yet to have Street Fighter
Thank
6
you very much to
regular.
Mr. Wolf for the raid.
Yeah. SYG
All right.
esports team. Shout out to them. One of their players still in it to win it. Snowboy going in with the Nash? Okay.
Yeah, I do remember Snowboy having a Nash. He usually picks Vega just because, like, Nash is similar to Fong, where they just have some really strange matchups. But yeah, I agree with the Nash pick in terms of either Dan or Ken. Nash is actually a pretty good counter pick to most of the Shotos.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't do too bad here, but and we're seeing that with the life lead at that on Snowboy's part. But Gambinera, one activation could really bring it back very easily at that. Throw
Yeah,
going
right.
to get the corner. Okay.
Ooh, this won't kill. Oh, he can cancel. Never mind. He built just enough meter.
Yeah.
Snowboy gonna take game number 1, or excuse me, round number 1. Getting ahead of myself.
It's okay. Maybe you're predicting the future. Maybe it is the commentator's curse. Only time will tell as we get into the next round.
Okay. Now, Snowboy definitely going to take advantage of the fact that he can still throw booms while Gambinera doesn't have V-Trigger. As soon as V-Trigger is a factor, you're not going to see a single boom from this man.
No, not at all. But seeing definitely plenty. They're right in the face, but you gotta hold it with the nice little punish on the top tip. Oh, great! Awesome. That was beautiful.
There's the back throw. And right now, yeah, Snowboy was in a precarious situation. Goes for the reset. Actually gets an air reset off of the second hit. Unfortunately, gets clipped by the EX dive kick. And Gambinera taking the second round in much more solid fashion from round start. I think it was just some better offensive pressure from Gambinera and better approaches from the mid screen.
I like to call it the CASA the CASA program because it's the Ken Aeronautics and Space Administration when he has the V trigger too. Because he goes so high up in the
Ken Aeronautics.
yeah, so it's the CASA instead of the NASA. Not to be confused with CASA Bunch.
Or with there's another person that's part of CASA something in here. I think Clone was part of CASA. Everybody, and not to be confused with my Spanish brother, Casa Man.
Right. A lot of Casas, but this one's spelled with a K.
Okay. We getting these corner loops. What a jump!
Oh,
Jeez, Snowboy. That was a read and a half, and it worked out beautifully. Wait. Okay, no, hold on. You have V trigger, the teleport. And he goes for the read of the fireball.
yeah, he was ready for it.
Oh my god.
Look, the man already died once. Nash has already died once. He doesn't want to do it again, okay?
I just want to die. Capcom, why won't you let me die? Nice, that was nice.
Because it's Snowboy playing. Because it is Snowboy playing right now. And because we're in loser side of things, right? So you can't afford to lose because there are no do-overs.
No, it is tournament life. That being said, does have the teleport. Gabanera gets hit by the EX boom, which allows for the side switch on the teleport. Snowboy trying to shimmy with Nash's terrible walk speed has gotten him in trouble once or twice. I don't think he's trying to make the same mistake again. That's a counter hit confirm. Right now, Gabanera just holding on for dear life in this corner.
Yeah, the small confirms on the low have really worked out, and so has the air to air. A little bit of a fade away there. I like that.
Ooh.
That's the second time this happens. So that happens also in the first game at the right at the start.
Oh my god, the V reversal got hit as well. Unfortunate for Snowboy, wasn't able to actually combo off of that hit.
Yeah, and the V shift. Oh no! It's gonna be a nice punish here from Gabanera, and gets in the corner pressure, the overhead into the stun, closing out the round.
What's crazy is that EX Sonic Scythe is only throw invincible. I don't know if Snowboy. I think he was trying to call that out. This'll hit. Yeah. All right. TP doesn't work. Go for the full stick of butter.
Yeah, and it gives him a nice chunk of life lead too at that. And so does that crush counter side switch back into the neutral here. And the Tonsu side switch again?
Flexus, what kind of character is Nash? Well, excuse me, is Ken? Well, you know, he's a mix-up character apparently.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Man, I don't have words. But what I do have is another point on the board for Gabanera, evening things up.
That was a wild set.
There's no Nash button? Exclamation point Nash?
There's no Nash.
Oh, there we
that's
go.
what
There we
it
go.
says.
There is a Nash command. What are you talking about? Just to exchange
Somebody
point
get
Nash.
it. It's
No, that's the DP. That's the DP button.
yeah. That's just
Yeah,
like
do
somebody
Nash. It works. Trust me.
Oh, thank you. I've learned so much now.
No, there's nothing to be learned from any of those commands. I'll tell you right now, there's nothing to be learned.
Are you sure? I thought Cammy was the best character ever. Something.
I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this in the chat right now. Anyway. No teleport yet from Snowboy. Right now, again, this has been a pretty even set so far. It's been a matter of, like, who's given the opportunity to who. A punish on that Sonic Scythe.
Yeah, and there could be a little bit of unfamiliarity, too, from Gabanera on some of the, either
Yo,
ranges
Euricia,
or...
thank you very much for the raid.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the stream. You may now be seated as we serve you up some Street Fighter V World Warrior action. Nash versus Ken. The side switch on activation here. The Gabanera ready with it.
Ooh, yeah, he's probably going to try to use that EX boom to get in once again. Although the V reversal's there, so he actually might not. He might not opt for it.
Yeah, ooh, but one hit could do it either way, especially with that critical art on deck here from Gabanera.
Medium
But
kick. So he tried to walk out of the range because forward medium kick obviously pushes you forward as Nash. So he was like, "Oh man, I gotta get out of throw range, so I'm gonna walk backwards." And of course, that's when Gabanera throws out the crouch medium kick. They confirm.
yep, works out in his favor at that.
Tries to shimmy. Gabanera's not biting, but again, like
No.
shimmy with the slowest character in the game is like it's a choice. It's a choice, and it's not working. I'll give him that. It's not working.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the opposite, right? With doesn't matter. Forget what I was talking about. We got activation here. Big carry at that, and the back throw. I love Ken's back throw because it gives you so much screen carry and can put your opponent in the corner. But Showboy having control and composure with it. One confirm on Showboy's side of things into critical art. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, see, it's funny. You say that's the reason why you love that button. That's the reason why I hate that button.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Unless you were Ken, right?
Yeah.
Unless you were Ken.
Unless you're Ken. Nice anti-air. That's -5. So Gabanera not choosing to punish it.
No. Yeah, the chiropractic appointment with the throw here.
I don't know what your chiropractor does. That is not FDA approved right there.
No, but thankfully I don't go to a chiropractor at all. I don't need to, so we'll keep it that way. Definitely. I doubt he has much business.
Yeah, why? Because he's dead, or because he's just bad at his job?
Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know if I'd want to have any sort of doctorly or medical procedures done by a dead guy, but hey, you know what? It doesn't matter. We've got critical art. I'm not gonna kill, but a lot of damage to follow. And he gives him the dash into the overhead.
Love
Knocks some
that
sense
overhead.
into him.
That overhead also, it's technically airborne, or it's either airborne or throw invincible. I can't remember which, but because of that, yeah, if you delay tech, it's just gonna get blown up. So
Yeah.
Snowboy, having 2-1 over Gabanera, who is one of the top 8 seeded players in this tournament series. It's a big opportunity for them.
Really,
I mean,
truly
Snowboy
is.
as well. He's right at the edge. He's at top 8 place. Man.
Is he seeded the same as Gabanera? Because I think Gabanera is higher, right?
Yeah, Gabanera is just a little bit higher, but Snowboy I think,
Gabanera
is
has
right
60 points in 7th place, and Snowboy is 8th place with 2 points.
Okay, so yeah. If Snowboy can take this, he's definitely going to bump himself over Gabanera. But either way, both players still going to get confirmed points because they're in top 8. It just doesn't matter of how much.
Ooh, God, this crouch medium kick is really bullying Gabanera.
Yep, utilizing the V-skill here to eat some of that meter. Or sorry, the fire to eat the fireball to gain some of that meter.
Yeah. All right, Gabanera just needs one extra hit. Tries for the shimmy. Snowboy just lets the EX boom rip. Doesn't care about the threat of V-trigger and just teleports right afterwards. That was a really, really nice way to put yourself at set point.
Yep, it's straight Beyblades out here. We let it rip. We're talking about letting things rip, the double dash in, but you get punished for it. I don't know if that was because of a hit or because it was at the end of that second dash in there, but either way, Gabanera is sitting a little bit more comfortably. But for how long?
Tries to get out of the pressure with V-reversal. Can't do that against the moonsault, though. Yeah, that V-reversal will work there, but he does spend essentially the rest of that V-meter on a escape attempt.
Ooh, big damage to follow here and put Snowboy in the corner at that. Gotta eat the throw, but you can't eat it a second time. You also can't eat that damage as Gabanera takes the round. But still match point here for Snowboy.
Alright, we're gonna absorb some fireballs again. Like, this is part of the reason why Nash is so particularly strong against the Shotos, is that, like, that V-skill lets you completely annihilate the fireball game plan from them.
No, you're absolutely right. And that can be a nice mobility move here if you're Ken, but doesn't matter in this case. Seeing that there goes in with the activation because the side switch, but no corner pressure at that activation time. Carries it with the Tatsu into a nice little DP ender.
Yeah, no punish on the V shift. Let Snowboy get a little bit away, but the damage is racking up. That target combo was just not what he needed. Gonna get in with the EX Moonsault. Oof, and just runs into that target combo once again. Gabanera evens things out 2 games apiece.
And my guess is if Gabanera can take this, he is going to basically, I think he'll keep Showboy out of that top 8 range, and it's going to be really difficult for Showboy to bring things back. Mind you, top 8 for the CPT World Warrior Tournament Series. So in case you guys haven't been keeping up, this is World Warrior for Europe West number 3, or no, sorry, number 4. Number 3 was last month. So on month to month, we are already more than halfway through the season. So this is for a chance into top 8 for the big finale and a chance into Capcom Cup. A lot on the line and a lot of pressure moving forward. We did go back to the character select screen, so I wonder if we are going to end up seeing the Vega switch.
Flexes?
We could. Vega wouldn't be a terrible pick.
I mean, I accept your apologize, but you're still fired.
I know. I think I'm at like 4 right now? 4 or 5?
We're working on it. We're working on the record.
You know what? It wouldn't be a Saltmine League stream and Saltmine League tournament if somebody wasn't getting fired. So I'll take it. I'll take the L, but I wouldn't want to take the L if I was Snowboy or Gabanera as we get into our final match of the set.
Okay. Right now, playing pretty standard, stand medium punch, getting that air throw to show that you can't just jump on this man.
No, but you can maintain the corner pressure. The claw has that I guess a lot more reach compared to maybe what we saw with Nash, so he's gonna have a little bit more control over his spacing here, but he does have to deal with the fireballs now. He doesn't have any real major tools, I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Houseman, I don't think he has anything huge to negate the fireball. Not that it matters, because he closes up the round.
Vega has V skill 1. He has EX roll. Both of them are projectile.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I forget about the V skill 1.
We're dumping full butter here. Gonna get that big life lead, which is so important when you're in a matchup that is all about controlling the space in front of you. If the opponent has less life, each stand medium punch matters more. That being said, you're not even gonna get to press a button now that Gabanera has you in the corner, gets the stun. Not gonna be able to kill here. Goes to the cheeky reset, and you asked for too much. You asked for too much, Gabanera. Ooh, that should be punished.
Yeah, tried to. I don't know if he was maybe trying to make it safe with the activation there, but it didn't work out in his favor here. Snowboy could potentially take it.
It's so the potential is high for both sides.
Yeah.
Gabanera needs to be really careful about tossing any fireballs. V skill could just come out. That being said, that's why he's getting away with some of these walk-ups and dashes. To get the kill, tries for an overhead again, and gets punished once more. Snowboy takes it 3-2 in the set over Gabanera.
Yeah, Snowboy going to close things out and faces off against Garnet into loser semi-finals. And this is momentous here for Snowboy. This is momentous because he now has the potential to surpass Gabanera in top 8. He gets more points.
Any way you can better secure your spot, because if you're the 8th person in the points bracket, you're like, man, I'm the weakest link. I'm the one that can just be knocked off at this point. But at 7th place, you're like, all right, we're sitting a little more comfy. You know, the door's still open. I could fall out of the car at any moment, but I at least have the seatbelt on. You know, I'm okay. I'm okay. So good job putting your seatbelt on, Snowboy.
Yeah, that's why you follow, traffic safety laws.
Seriously, people put on your seatbelt.
Winners finals, Eco versus Akram.
All right, so we're going to the winners finals. Make sure y'all are gambling safely with your salt points, by the way, because it's fun. It's fun to do this.
Yeah.
I always vote. I know I'm biased, but I vote anyway.
Okay. Well, that's the fun of it, right? I always like to, like, if I see that there's gonna be like a lot of people sinking their like points into one person, I always like to vote against it because I think it's funny. Even if I lose points, it's okay. I watch enough Saltmine League to get them back, as you should too if you are in chat. Saltmine League every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. Hey, there we go. You have Saturdays 5 p.m. CST with the EU Open Bracket, and then Sundays, not this week, but I believe next week, Ritas? You can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, we will have Street Fighter V Saltmine League for NA East Coast Open Bracket, 7 p.m. EDT. Yeah, follow them on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube as we follow through. And if you guys want to keep track as well of the World Warrior tournaments, you can certainly do so here at Saltmine League by following their social media. They host a plethora of all the EU for the World Warrior tournaments. So, and if you're in the EU as well and you want to participate, you certainly can still do so.
Yeah, there is not a lot of time left, but there is still some left.
Reading chat, Addy says, "Wow, this Baker sucks. Last week he stole his Ferrari and he took my
you gotta love the EU who know each other and just love to talk smack
Right.
in the strangest way possible." That being said, though, the smack going on, Geeko throwing it against Akram, who is stuck in the corner, but trying to fight their way out slowly but surely. Geeko giving them a little bit of room, only to spiral arrow right through the arc of that fireball. Geeko is going all in.
Absolutely, the battle of the blonde beauties, Cammy versus Lucia, and I think Lucia's gonna have a little bit of a harder time versus some of her previous matches against Cammy because Cammy is so mobile. She has a lot more air approach options to negate some of the ground fireball play here, but it doesn't matter because she's keeping things low profile. Lucia with a big confirm misses the throw but picks things right back up.
I do not know if Akram meant to do that slide, but if they did, that was spectacular. Sadly, didn't give them the round, but hey, you got the Twitch clip, so
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes that's just I was gonna say it's not always about the end game. It's about the journey and the memories we make along the way. Unless you are wanting a chance into top 8 and for some extra points and grand finals.
Okay, throwing out our boots here. Life pretty even at the moment. You did mention this is maybe a little harder for Lucia, and I can respect that. The dive kick gives Cammy a little bit of an edge, including the walk speed, makes it a little easier for her to bait some whiffed buttons. This is gonna kill, I think. Pretty darn close.
Oh,
there
it
you go.
does. It does, yeah. I guess the scaling not quite as high too, so that works out in Geeko's favor and puts one on the board at that. Now, the other interesting thing too, and maybe I don't know it for frame data, but just based off of the visual aspect, right? It definitely looks like Cammy's jump arc and jump is a little bit faster compared to some of the other characters on the roster. So that also proves to be difficult too, because Lucia, gears aren't horrible, right? But they're not the greatest either.
No.
I think that can be really difficult to manage against a jump in from Cammy, especially with Cannon Spike there, which landed its mark. Geeko having good control.
Yeah, Cannon Strike can be so detrimental when your opponent just wants to play a ground game. It almost works like a really effective counter poke. Unfortunately, the activation comes a little too late, not able to bait out the V reversal and not able to punish it either. The big strength I think Lucia has in this matchup is that her damage is absurd, and Cammy is, a little fragile these days. She only has 900 health. So if Akram can get the right hits, not only does he get the fantastic corner carry that Lucia always gets, but the damage just means that you're only maybe 2 or 3 throws away from dying.
Yeah,
Gets this clean hit, unfortunately drops the combo there because it's just a little too high into the sky. Ooh,
yeah,
it tries to get
absolutely. You definitely don't have a lot you need to do, but talk about not needing to do a lot. Geeko closing it out and putting another round on the board. A beautiful spiral arrow at that.
That was nice. I like that counter poke there. Unfortunately, let Gigo get out of the corner, and maybe he has to be a little better about their corner control if they're gonna hope to even get any games on Gigo.
Yeah, Gigo playing out of his mind right now. He is so smart and patient at that. Yeah, see it right there. Beautiful patience, holds the block, and then gets the punish, right? He maintains the corner pressure. One hit to do it, and the counter certainly will as Gigo takes another match.
I sometimes get nightmares of a few things. Things like, forgetting your homework when you go to class. Confessing your love to someone and it's not returned. And then the worst one of all is having no life and Cammy's just pressing stand light kick in front of your face. It's probably one of the worst places to be in the entire world. That button is just so brutal.
You know what? When I think about some of the four horsemen, I think that definitely comes up there. If not, maybe
it's like the Exodia pieces, the right arm, the arms, the arms are Chun's stand fierce, and the legs are Cammy's stand light kick.
I think it's so funny because I was literally about to reference that with Yu-Gi-Oh! With Exodia. Great minds think alike, and talk about a great mind with the anti-air Kiko.
It's that back medium punch, unfortunately too far away to combo. Ooh. Okay, here we're gonna get the corner. No, drops it. That was the game. That was almost the game for Akram there. He would have gotten the corner and extra damage, and Gico just gets away a little bit, puts himself on a stand medium kick point, on set point.
I love that stand medium kick. It has so much range as well. It's a great poke option, and it's a great challenge at that setup.
I don't know. By the way, has not lost a single game so far today.
Yeah.
One of those days.
That's why he's in winners. And it's so clean. And at match point at that, but he's got to maintain the sterilization and keep things clean here. Bring up the Clorox wipes or something to carry himself into a victory.
Oh my god, that hit, but Akram wasn't sure about it. Didn't confirm off the stand fierce. Allows Gico to challenge and put them into the corner. And right now, Gico's actually giving them some space.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe with the scaling. Alright, she wore her armor today.
Yeah, with the scaling. Stand medium kick. We're gonna add that, right? Where the light kick is the left leg, and the stand medium kick's the right leg of the Exodia.
You know what? We're not even gonna vary the arms.
There's a rule about Hemi. Like when you can see her back, like if she turns around and you can see her back, the button is minus, and if you see her from the front, her button is plus.
Really?
Is that true? I thought stand light kick was only 0. I thought stand light kick was 0 on block.
It's +1.
It's plus? Yeah. Of course it is. Of course.
I love the defeat in your voice when you say that. Of course it is.
Of course it is. Yeah. Just like it's like I see Ed do crouch medium punch and it's a tick throw. Of course it is. Of course it's a tick throw.
Of course it is. And of course Gico gonna be taking it over Akram and securing his spot into grand finals. He's gonna have a minimum, 40 points? If not 50.
Yeah,
but
good amount.
Could face off against Akram again as Akram moves down into losers finals. Talking about losers side of things, as we move down into semifinals, Garnet versus Snowboy. The gem in the rough versus the cool, calm, and collected Snowboy.
Now, I think I'm trying to think right now in terms of, because they didn't see each other earlier, right? Like Garnet faced a different Nash. They faced Clone. I think Snowboy even mentioned like it's a terrible matchup for Nash. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see the Vega play. I'd be pleasantly surprised if we saw the Mika play, albeit I don't think Mika does particularly well against Fong. So Vega might be the pick.
We did actually see this match before over in winners quarterfinals. I had to look at the bracket real quick. Snowboy actually sent Garnet into loser side of things. So are we going to see that play out again the second time around as they face off against each other? Or is Garnet going to, you know, change the pacing a little bit and make it work in his favor?
He didn't.
Round one.
All right. The Fog versus the Vega here. Round start already with the poison here and the trade at that. Small pokes to follow, but I like it. Garnet's being a little bit more aggressive, right? Snowboy kind of taking the pacing just a step back. Oh no, I can't hear Houseman. Houseman, did you die?
Yeah, he died.
We'll give Houseman a second, and in the meantime, we'll talk through the rest of this here. Going in with the throw, maintaining the corner pressure, but gets punished with the claw. Unfortunate for Snowboy. He's gonna have to hold that poison damage, but
That's so unfortunate. Oh, that's so unfortunate. The rose
Oh,
is
now,
supposed to go.
now we can hear you again. Hi, Hawk.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I heard my name in my household, and when you hear your name, you're like, oh boy. Better make sure nothing bad's happening.
it's corner pressure. Ooh.
Good lord, the spaghetti is everywhere right now, and Garnet is serving it up. That being said, has the life lead. We've seen Snowboy actually take comebacks like this before.
Yeah, and he does have the V trigger. Yep,
That's
there's
awesome.
the activation there, but puts him in the corner and gets hit with the fade away. Unfortunate for Snowboy.
That was so. What was interesting there is that like you are plus in that situation as Vega, but he used crouch medium kick, which startup is just a little longer than jump, and yeah, so Garnet kind of took advantage of that. I don't think that's something that, if it comes up again, I don't think Snowboy's gonna let Garnet get away with that. He's gonna press something a little faster, but
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right there. And that's the name of the game, right? You can't let your opponent abuse an option. But hey, if it looks dumb but it works, then it ain't dumb, and you have to keep using it until your opponent learns. So.
okay. Oh yeah, Catch calls out the EX command dash with the throw, and now Garnet is technically stuck in this corner. They get hit by that. The double claw. Okay.
Not going to be enough to kill, but definitely enough to pack a punch at that and give him a huge life lead. Small fade away here. One confirm could do it for Snowboy. Activation from Garnet.
Yeah, you just block that poison. Block it again. Try to get away from this pressure. The best thing about walking away from Fong pressure is that he has no low other than sweep. So the Fong really has to dedicate to catching you walking back. Once you're in this corner, it's a whole other story. Snowboy probably going to just try to jump out with the wall jump. And yeah, reset that whole situation. Just lame it out like it's cross-teching. There you go. Nice punish.
Yeah, beautifully done.
Final
Keep it
round.
simple, keep it easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Ooh, okay. Counter
Small
poking pretty
pokes.
well. And that's all Vega needs at the end of the day. He's a simple man. He just needs small pokes.
Simple man, but plenty to offer with the EX roll into the corner. Do it again.
Little shimmy.
Ooh. That's a beauty too, with that, because it can potentially cross up depending on where it's hit. I don't remember if it's the EX or the regular that will do the cross up, but hey, it doesn't matter anyway, because Snowboy gonna take it 1 over Garnet so far. And again, Snowboy did send Garnet into the loser side of things. I believe it was 2 to no, was it 2 to 1? I can look real quick.
I have to look in the bracket.
Yeah, 2 to 1. So
Yeah, and it was with this Vega as well. So definitely a character with a character being piloted by a player who knows enough about the matchup to at least control some of the craziness that Garnet can put out there.
no, you're absolutely right. Trying to stay out of range, I think, of some of the projectile there, but unfortunately gets hit the second time around. Pushed into the corner, but activation point lands its mark. You love to see it. Goes in with the throw.
I like the empty jump to try to call out the anti-air from Garnet. Garnet doesn't bite the bait though. Keeps things even with this poison. Try to get in with the EX command dash. Ooh my god, the unintended side switch mix up, but we'll take those.
Oh no!
It still was a projectile. Alright. Gets in
Tries
again.
Yeah, activation just doesn't find its mark. Tries to get him out of the corner, but anti-aired out of it. That's heartbreaking. That is so heartbreaking for Snowboy. I wanted to make a quick comment too about the V skill 2. One of my favorite things about Vega is the V skill 2 because it has that pullback, right? So it allows you to kind of do some fun, tricky stuff. It allows you to, as a good defensive option, kind of step away from your opponent a little bit and force them to try and press a button. But B, it can also be a fun little offensive option. Talk about offensive with the stun. Look at this damage.
Yeah, throwing off the mask, little offensive as well. Gain that damage increase. That being said, risks their own life at the same time since they didn't get to kill Garnet.
No.
It gets back thrown, so they get out of the corner ostensibly for free. Unfortunately, didn't check the dash soon enough. Garnet getting away with a lot of pressure right now. The Rose whiffs, and the Snowboy is just stuck in this corner.
That was oh man, Snowboy just getting by with the back throw.
It's a back throw. Works every time. Whether it's Guilty Gear or Street Fighter 5, defensive back throw every time.
Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna complain. It worked out in his favor. And puts another round on the board for Snowboy here. A nice convincing round start, but it goes both ways as Garnet able to find the confirm, the slide in with the pressure. Stuck in the corner as Vega. You can activate to get out of here, but the slide will do it too. The Vega Classic.
Ooh, okay. Nice whiff punish. No, he dropped the combo.
Oh, the V-shift!
I don't even think the V-shift was needed for that, but we'll take it anyway. The slowdown.
I like it. Give me the style point.
It's like a Zack Snyder film. If it's slowed down, it has more style to it.
Oh yeah, of
Slow
course.
it down a little bit. All right, Garnet evening things up 1-1 in the set.
You know what? I'm not complaining because it means I just get to see more Street Fighter 5. So
I feel bad because he got the hit with the Rose. He wanted to combo it into, I believe it was the low slice, and the motion just didn't come out, so he got light punch and then got the critical art anyway. Very unfortunate.
the things I think about late at night that keep me up.
Add to the list.
Yeah, right.
Misconfirming in front of everyone on CPT.
I feel that. I feel that so hard.
Ooh, okay. Nice use of the V skill just to get out of that situation. I like it. Yeah, again. Just get out of the
utilizing the V skill is such a great defensive option as V skill too, because it does kind of pull you out of that. But you got to be careful. The spacing there got punished for it that second time around. Garnet ready with it. He's seen this story before. He knows the ending.
He's always able to get out of the corner with that wall jump. Definitely catches Garnet off guard. To be fair, there's a lot to think about. We're going to use the V trigger now actually as a combo extender this time. Going to get ourselves into the corner there. Stand medium punch stops whatever Garnet was trying to throw out there. Going to take the plus frames and the side switch.
Yeah, gonna get the corner pressure here too. We've seen this is where Garnet can excel is if he's able to maintain the corner pressure.
Oh
Not
my
able to
god.
maintain it there, but tries to go in with the chase down and the neutral, gets thrown out of it.
What a scrambly situation right now. Garnet trying to ease things up, but has some life deficit to make up for. And Vega's a wily character. If he just does one EX Barcelona, he's out of this corner. Sadly, presses where he shouldn't have, and now needs to make up the life deficit of his own. Garnet's not even going to give him the chance. Keeps up the pressure, and finally, Snowboy cracks, losing the round.
Yeah, that was scary too because I thought he was gonna get punished there on the V reversal. Didn't quite get punished, but it still found its mark as Garnet. I really think Garnet just anytime he's able to push you into the corner, he's gonna really excel and shine. And I mean that's the beauty, right? He's named Garnet. He's named after a gem, and gems certainly shine, and he's doing so in this match.
At least with that, at least with the little polishing. Right
Yeah.
now, though, Garnet, yeah, as mentioned, has the round lead. I don't think this is going to be an easy fight in the slightest. Though Snowboy is putting up a good fight, always able to get out of the corner. Now, actually calling out some of those poison clouds with the EX roll, and gonna punish that cloud. Nice. Okay, gets the cross cut.
And the command grab actually puts him on the other side of things too, so not in the corner, but the slide out certainly puts Snowboy in a little bit better position here. Or sorry, Garnet in a little bit better position here.
Snowboy gonna try to jump out. No, falls right on top of the poison ball. Ooh, okay, yeah, Garnet's now calling that out.
Oh my god!
Yeah, who the hell even knew that what side that would be on? Oh no, the side switch actually gets blocked. Snowboy just walks out of that pressure, calls out the poison cloud, and yeah, just dash forward into the slide for the kill. Evens up the rounds.
Yeah, very, very easy punish on the projectile. It's just that beat trigger activation.
That was actually a buff as well. He only recently got the, because there's a minimum height he needs to do it at for the V's trigger to even activate, and that got lowered, I think, this patch. So it really helps with those punishes.
Yeah, and we definitely see how strong that proves to be coming into this. We've seen that punish actually a few times here from Snowboy in different matches, but including this one. Utilizes that V skill to kind of pull himself away.
Ooh, jumps right into the poison though. That gives Garnet the life lead. And even though Garnet could probably play this lane, he can't afford to let Snowboy in with that V trigger. Gets out with the command dash, gets hit with the sweep, and now Snowboy is going to be bullied into the corner with Garnet having V trigger on deck.
Oh, we've seen this time and time again, but breaks the throw this time. Snowboy's defense is like a stone wall, but stone walls tend to crumble and crack. He's gotta maintain. Oh, no! That's so unfortunate. Just a little too late.
Be in there anyways. And again, the plus frame close range situation. Garnet escapes with a jump back roundhouse. Maybe that's jump medium kick. I always forget Fong's buttons. Like, what happens again is that Snowboy goes for the throw, like the throw bait. He goes for stand roundhouse. He goes for something that'll call out B shift and throw. And Garnet just goes jump back into overhead. It's a trend that you have to pick up on, especially in those particular situations.
Yeah, it just seems like Snowboy falls a little too short. His timing's just a little bit off, right? We saw him lose that V trigger activation opportunity because he mistimed it just a little bit too slow. Could pick it back up though. He could definitely pick it back up here. It is only 2-1. There's still plenty of rounds to go, but it is loser's side of things. There are no do-overs as we're in loser semifinals, and a chance to face off against Akron.
Yeah, there's one life to live here. Snowboy risks it with the slide. That being said, though, has the resources to get out of this corner if they get pushed in. Gets baited by the V skill, which has a pretty good recovery in comparison to the poison cloud.
No, you're absolutely right. The oppression. I love when Garnet places down the poison cloud because he immediately goes and dashes in right after. I've seen that time and time again. It just tickles me.
That gray life is really adding in for Snowboy, whose defense, as strong as it has been, you still gain some gray life over blocking a lot of these mediums. So you can't play this way forever. You have to make an approach, especially now that you've lost your claw. You have no range.
No.
Goes right in with the command grab. Right now, has to make a big call. Finally, the lights come out. You are not getting away from this, Garnet. That being said, though, Garnet has to make the approach, and he can just that's not enough. It's not enough.
No,
Snowboy
it's not.
barely takes the timeout. Uh-oh. No. Not like this.
I think this broke the game.
Oh, man.
No.
The game's doing the calculation. So, like, wait. We gotta look at that life again.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That round did go to Snowboy, but just barely.
Okay.
Just barely because of the timeout. And it looks like unfortunate there.
It looks like they're
Street
still
Fighter
in
things
battle.
happen and
Yeah. That was just a spectators thing.
Yeah.
I think they're still okay in the match.
Yeah. All right, they're still going. Okay. Then we're gonna go to as we hop right back into it. This is losers semis, 2-1 right now.
I hope we can hop right back into it because normally it doesn't work.
Yeah, normally we might miss the rest of the match. And honestly, for me, as long as the players are able to play uninterrupted, that's it sucks for us at the end of the day. It's unfortunate.
The problem is at some point the game usually crashes at this point, and then the lobby gets disbanded, and then the match.
Yeah, so we might have to remake the lobby. It does happen, unfortunately, but we'll make it work. That being said, I do believe that they're able to finish the set, so the set is not being compromised at the very least.
No, but this is a great opportunity for us to talk a little bit about Saltmine League, about what they've got coming up every weekend. Street Fighter V on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, the game crashed.
All right, we'll get to fixing that. Why don't we bring up the schedule for the CPT events though?
Yeah,
so we'll do that while you
bring
that out. There we go.
Tell me what's going on with the World Warrior Tournament's Housemen. What are we covering? When are we covering it? And where can people find that information?
Well, right now you are watching the World Warrior event for Europe West. Is going on today. It is currently October 10th and October 9th. I know my days. October 9th. So this is the fourth event. There are 5 of these events in total, not just for Europe West, but UK and Ireland, Europe East, the Baltic, Nordic, and Germany. Each of those events leads up to a final. You see at the bottom there. That final is made up of the top 8 point havers in the tournament. So you get points based on the placing you have in each of these tournaments. You have enough points, you meet that top 8 requirement. At that final will be a open bracket for the not an open bracket, but a top 8 bracket where the winner of that will get a Capcom Pro Tour tournament seat for Capcom Cup. Boom.
Oh my gosh, my mic was muted for a second because I was drinking water. I was gonna say that's a big deal too, though, because we're highlighting some of the best talent across the world. And mind you, too, if you are not in the EU or around this area, you can still enter in because this is covered worldwide. So there may be a World Warrior tournament for you. We are already halfway through the season, but there's still time to get some points on the board. And there's also still time to go and follow Saltmine League on Twitter at Saltmine TV and on YouTube at Saltmine League. And you can always support if you want to take it that much further by going ahead and subbing to Saltmine League on Twitch. And mind you, too, that means you don't have to watch commercials. I learned my lesson. The moment I had to watch a commercial, I went and used my Twitch Prime sub. And because I get a free sub out of that, I went and sub to Saltmine League. You can, too. No, Houseman, you're muted.
Ritas, do we have any word on whether or not the match was finished?
It got not finished, but I wait for Garnet to actually answer me in Discord.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll wait for the results from them. In the meantime, we'll also talk about, some of the stuff going on this weekend. As everybody knows, the beta has been going on for Street Fighter VI. A lot of people have been having fun. In fact, Saltmine League here even ran their own Street Fighter VI beta tournament. And I think that was a lot of fun. Soundboy taking it with his Luke. There's a lot of Luke, Jamie, and Ryu going on in that tournament, if I recall.
As there should be. I'm a big Jamie fan. I'm a big Jamie advocate. I played Chun-Li in Street Fighter V, but Jamie is the love of my life, and I will stand by that. I want to comment too. Street Fighter VI character creation.
So
if
Garnet,
sorry,
I need to. Garnet, you have actually 2 minutes to answer me in Discord, otherwise you get disqualified.
We gotta figure that out
2
then.
minutes, Garnet.
Did either player? Oh wait,
Sniper answered.
Okay, so the match is not set yet. We're sitting at 2-1.
Yeah, but I need his response, otherwise we can't continue.
Right. Okay. All right, well, we'll figure things out in a little bit. But yeah, that character creator is like out of this world. That is crazy.
No, I gotta know, Houseman, did you create something cursed, or did you like do what I usually do and just make yourself in the game?
I made me, but I made honest me. I gave myself a little bit of a gut because I have a little bit of a gut. So I
But
gave
did you
honest
give
me.
yourself an epic mustache?
Yeah, of course. Well, I have this mustache, so why wouldn't I give myself this mustache?
I would hope so.
I gave myself the hat too. I bought the hat. And everything.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's like-
some cursed stuff and
Yeah, there's some real curse stuff. Like you can just
Oh,
drag,
so
you can
cool.
drag yourself to be like. So there's like, big funny tall guy, but like the tall in this is like, for some reason the abdomen is the most stretched out part of the tall people. It's a very very concerning. Like it's not proportional, and it makes it very funny. to say
I've
the
seen
least.
like the world's thickest neck and the tiniest head. And it's so funny. But the worst part too I've seen is people, I guess they can make their accessories really really big too, so you'll have just like a normal sized guy, but then like the biggest glasses that just clearly don't fit his face, or like wearing like I've seen one where it's like an Oni mask, but
Yeah,
then you see
it's
the
just
limbs sticking out of it.
It looks like some sort of Digimon or something like that with just little hands, and it's just a mask.
Oh man,
but
who was it? Somebody, Maximilian, actually made a hilarious video highlighting some of the cursed stuff he's seen in Street Fighter 6 beta. It's so good.
But that's what's great. Like, and honestly, for me, that's what's great about it, because that means like it's robust. It's good enough that people, if they want to make themselves, they can, and like that's great. But if you just want to have some goofy fun with it, you can as well. It's so good. So good.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm excited. I did not get a key to the beta. I was not unfortunately blessed enough. But, we take that with the L. It just means that the hype is built even more for when Street Fighter 6 comes out. And mind you, too, this is the last year for CPT for Street Fighter 5. So, there's a lot on the line for these World Warrior competitors and for any competitor in general trying to secure spots in CPT.
That being said, and this is probably the best compliment I can give Street Fighter 6, is like, in playing it, it does feel like Street Fighter 5 2. Like, it's different. It does feel very different in a lot of ways, but like the game feels very similar to Street Fighter 5. So
Yeah.
if you're like, man, I like Street Fighter 6 is so far away, I want to get into it, I want to start off good, like, should I play Street Fighter 5? Absolutely. The netcode is good enough for like people to get started. You can find people in your region, you can play each other, and when you go to Street Fighter 6, you'll just be ready with that sense of game feel that will really help you early on, even if you don't know the combos. I would only say maybe don't play Luke in 5, because his combo routing is so much different in Street Fighter 6. It's like completely different. But other than that, yeah, like play some 5, and like you'd probably be ready for Street Fighter 6 to a degree.
Yeah. All right. What is the news, Ritas? Are we
Oh,
they're
it seems like we got both
starting-
players.
Yeah, they're starting from. So what we do here, it was 1-1 in rounds. So each of them gets 1 round, and then we start from there.
Okay.
All right. So we'll wait things out for a few minutes. Score currently, for those who don't know, Garnet 2 to Snowboys 1.
Yeah.
So 1-1 round. So this means Garnet is sitting at potential match point.
Yeah, they are. They're technically at set point. We're gonna, as Ritas just mentioned, both players are gonna reset it so that it's 1 round essentially. Are they gonna do meter stuff or anything like that, or is it just gonna be?
We don't like. We can't check it. Only thing we can check here is 1 round each. So I just
Okay, and they're just. Oh, is it just set to 1 round?
No, they need to play until we are in
First
round
3.
3. You know?
Okay.
Like, each
All right.
of
So they're
them-
gonna play until round 3. Okay. So if you see one side beating up on the other, it might look a little strange, but they're just making it back to where we were.
Yeah, pretty much. Vega, the Fong.
Well, that's how it is. What can you do? Like,
Round
Yep.
one.
Yep, nature of the beast, so we get to see the same move over.
but both of them have meter, so it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KO.
All right.
right.
But anyway, point being, it's Addy, please, Addy, don't be this way. Don't be this way in chat. But that being said, yeah, no. If you haven't gotten into Street Fighter yet and you're excited about the prospects of Street Fighter 6, like definitely pick up Street Fighter 5.
Yes.
It's
Absolutely.
it's a solid entryway into what I feel is just the next, genuinely like the next big step for Street Fighter. So anyway, here we are back to loser semifinals. It is again first to 3, which means Garnet is on set point. Snowboy does have a round in his pocket though, so he could still live if he takes this round.
Absolutely. And this is for a chance into losers finals to face off against Akram. But big strong start here for Snowboy with a critical art that does so much damage, puts him at over 50% health with the throw.
Yeah, really strong situation for them. Garnet, though, has been able to make these comebacks, especially with some of these nasty resets that Snowboy has, been 50-50 himself on blocking.
But mind you, Snowboy, I believe, did send Garnet into loser's side of things, so we're going to tell a different tale.
It's time to adjust, and right now we're seeing that comeback that I mentioned. Garnet doing his best to open him up, and there it goes. Snowboy unfortunately gets knocked out of the tournament in 4th place. Garnet taking it 3-1 in the set.
Yeah. I like the comeback, right? Because Snowboy sent Garnet into losers, Garnet had to fight his way, claw and climb all the way through losers bracket to face off against Akram and to get that much more points on the scoreboard. Now, mind you, this isn't just any regular old Saltmine League open bracket tournament. This is World Warrior. This is for a chance into top 8 and a chance into Capcom Cup. There is a lot on the line here if you're Garnet and Akram.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? It is a good showing from Snowboy. Nothing bad in taking 4th place. And honestly, does that put them in? Does that put them ahead of Gambonera for the points?
Yeah. So Garnet was already ahead of Gambonera, and I think even more so.
Or not Garnet, but I mean Snowboy, because Snowboy was 10 points behind.
Because in Street Fighter 5, because I'm the creator of the lobby. If I crash, if my game crashes, the lobby crashes as well.
Yeah, just addressing the chat. People asking why didn't the set just play out? Yeah, unfortunately, if the host of the lobby has to back out, it resets the match anyway. So, but anyway, we're gonna move into losers finals now. We're gonna get Akram versus
This very,
Garnet.
very rarely happens, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I've commentated these tournaments for like 2 years now, and that's the first time that's happened.
yeah.
What can you do?
But you are correct, Houseman. It does push Snowboy, I believe, into the top 8 because he gets a little extra bump in his points. Because
So he
Snowboy
gets to
plays,
7th place, maybe.
I believe, yeah, I think so. I'm trying to look for my thingy. Yeah, I believe it puts him in 7th at the very least. So, yeah, because he got, what was it, 4th place? Yeah, so it'll put him into at least 7. Because I believe he'll get, what is it, 54, like 30 points? No, 20 points? Something like that. Numbers are hard. But what isn't hard? Street Fighter. Actually, that's not true. Street Fighter 5 is really hard.
It is really hard.
Yeah.
Right now, it's going to be a difficult
Hilo,
step
we
between
even
both.
discussed this in Discord. If you don't want to trust me and start a discussion with me, do this there, please.
Yeah, no, it's
So,
guys. It's been the tournament organizing has been figured out. It's been agreed upon. Don't have to worry about it.
We've moved on.
That being said, we're going to be having Akram versus Garnet, and I think Akram's going to pick the Lucia again. No, the what? What?
Round one.
We're going to see the jury. All right.
I'm not complaining though. I don't see this jury costume very often either. I think this one's kind of fun.
I don't like this jury costume.
No?
The color scheme's nice. They chose some good colors for this one.
Right.
But it's too much and too little at the same time.
I don't know. I'm here for it. I'm
Alright.
also here for that punish on the PX pinwheel. Garnet ready with it. Big damage. Some big boy damage right there. Ooh! And then punish on the activation.
Trying to get
not getting
started.
a chance to breathe.
Thank God they have that EX flip kick, which gets them over the projectile. Unfortunately, Garnet gets away with the V shift, but a V skill gets Akram right back in. Looked a little confused as to what do I do next, and that's it.
Yeah. Unfortunate there for Akram. I think it really was just two big punishes. It worked in Garnet's favor.
Okay, stretching, building up those resources, but the EX sleeve sneeze comes right into effect. Garnet right now trying to create some pressure.
Every time, it's so gross.
I'll stop. Nice
No, it's
fireball
okay.
into the sleeve. Okay, nice little combo there with the air. Yeah, it calls out the V reversal with the immediate throw, tick throw.
Oh no, we've seen this now before. The punish on the pinwheel, not EX this time, but still plenty of damage to follow. And stuck in the corner. It's unfortunate, right? Because even with the V skill, I think you can still get punished for it. It's not going to take you out of the corner at all. So I don't know what Akram could have done there.
This is EU West, ladies and gentlemen, so UK is not a participant in these.
Yeah, UK has its own. UK has their own World Warrior tournament. So this is EU West currently.
Now, I've never seen Akram's jury before. This is like the first time I've seen it. It looked like, I'm sorry, but it looks a little uncomfortable when you're fighting this. You know, it might say Super Diamond. Garnet is a master level Fallen player.
Yeah.
Like this is a person who understands how to play against bad matchups and how to set up their ideal pressure. And Akram right now just looks, even though they have some of the tools like the EX flip kick and some stuff to get around these poison projectiles, it's just looking so uncomfortable for them that I wonder if they might want to fit back into a character that they're a little more used to.
Yeah, it really does look like a bit of a struggle here for Akram. EX Terminal finds its mark there, but you still get punished. It's unfortunate. He's just making a couple wrong decisions. He's really having to pay for it, but make it safe with the activation this time around. But how safe are you when you're stuck in the corner against Garnet?
Ooh, okay, EX sneeze. Oh, it gets low profiled again. So many moves in this game get low profiled.
I know. It's unfortunate. What's unfortunate is Akram currently down 2-0. Now, are we going to see the character switch, or is Akram going to stick it out with the jury?
It's now or never. At this point, either you pick the jury and accept you could go in third place over it, or or you go for the Lucia. We've seen the Lucia before. Akram does have a really solid Colleen. I'm not really entirely sure why they're kind of avoiding the character today. But I don't know. Could be just matchups haven't been in their favor, or they could just be really feeling the Lucia. I'm not entirely certain.
Yeah, I would expect we're gonna at the very least see Lucia, if not the Colleen. I don't blame them for wanting to change out the jury. The jury very much was not working, and that was giving Garnet a huge lead of 2-0 over Akram. So Akram, A, you gotta stick it out with whatever you pick, and B, you got a bit of a hill to climb, right? Coming up 2-0, but we have seen bigger comebacks before.
Yes, we have. And Lucia is definitely an explosive character, so a comeback might almost be inevitable.
Yeah, but will Garnet stay true and maintain his composure against the fiery cop that is Lucia?
Okay. Now we start seeing some of why Akram might have been a little hesitant to be using Lucia in the first place. Those poison clouds can be a little tricky for her to work around. That being said, has started the round off with a really significant life lead. Nearly well-spaced shoulder tackle there, but gets off with the EX DP anyway. And then, yeah, just counter pokes their way into a first round win.
There we go. I don't know if that's... Yeah, I think that's a first round that Akram's been able to put on the board there against Garnet, so...
I think that's the first round we've seen Akram not be just stuck in the corner.
Correct. But talk about the corner.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We take those back throws. Right now, Akram just able to play their game of throw loops. Unfortunately, tries to shimmy, and that gives Garnet the opportunity to EX command dash out of there. EXDP in retaliation. Wow, just runs right through, gets the V-shift punish. Oh my lord, Akram running away with this game.
Yeah, and the chase down, but the EX slide out of there. I'm not mad at that, but I would be mad if I was Garnet, because you were going to have to eat the L and put one on the board for Akram. Bringing it back. We talked about this. There have been worse comebacks. Bigger hills to climb. Akram could definitely do it.
When you're playing at this high a level, it is the character comfortability is so important. We've seen some players pull out some characters that, you know, like Punk in particular is like notorious for pulling out characters that are just like, wait, what? I've never seen you play this character. What are you doing? But like when you're playing on even ground, truly even ground, like it is right now, like you need that character that you're really comfortable with. And right now, even though Garnet has a significant life lead, yeah, that activation might just put Garnet in the other side of the screen.
Oh yeah, no, I mean you're absolutely right here, but ooh, gets a crush counter. That was a little bit of a dicey situation there for Akram, but there's the punish here from Garnet, and this constant pressure. We're seeing this time and time again. Garnet's really been able to maintain the pressure once he has an opening, and I think that's why he's excelled so much throughout this bracket. And excelled enough to put him at match point and put him that much closer into grand finals.
Yeah, the stun is definitely going to bring them just slightly closer. That being said, they're going to have to get probably 2 more hits. But you know what? Wake up crouch medium kick just to call out the shimmy. Akram right now going to cancel into the V trigger so that we can get the full corner conversion there. Gets greedy with the attempt at the shimmy, but you know what? We call out the V shift or the V reversal anyway. Get to the other side of the corner. The V shift calls out the burner, but thankfully Akram is able to recover in time. Not going to be able to recover from this though, and that'll do it. Garnet takes a set 3-1.
Heartbreaking there for Akram. Tried to go with a character switch. It didn't work out in his favor. The only Swiss player I've seen in this bracket not able to pull through Garnet, though. A confident gameplay. Composed. It's beautiful. Mwah. And facing off against Geeko in grand finals.
Yeah, Geeko is going to be a tough opponent. I think somebody mentioned it earlier. There's only a couple of players that can consistently take out Geeko, and none of them are here right now. Garnet's a good shot though. The trouble with this matchup definitely comes down to the fact that Cammy has some pretty good options for getting through the poison clouds as long as she stays within a certain range. If she's full screen, it can be a little troublesome, but her walk speed will let her walk into that range that she needs. On top of that, the dive kick calls out a lot of what Alfong wants to anti-air, so that means that you can't just rely on your crouch medium kick as frequently as you want to, and we've definitely seen Garnet rely on it a bit too much in certain matchups like Mr. Wolf, where thankfully Mr. Wolf just wasn't bringing out the dive kick enough for Garnet to really change their mind. So this can be a tough matchup for Garnet, but you know what, both players have managed to make it here, which means that it is going to be a contest between them regardless of how the character matchup might seem.
Oh, absolutely. And mind you, too, both players haven't played against each other yet in bracket, right? So, you know, both played extremely well, but I'm curious to see how they're going to pan things out. Especially because we saw Garnet take a very convincing win over Akram. Now, mind you, Akram did have, you know, quite a bit of struggle playing Jury at the start. But you know, Geeko also played extremely well. we're seeing through top 8 3-0s back to back. And now, mind you, not without, their opponents putting up a fight, but still, that score definitely says something about how well Geeko's been playing today.
Yeah, I think we just mentioned it earlier. Geeko hasn't lost a game in this bracket.
Nope. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. 2-0 over Too Old for This, 2-0 over Maeve, 3-0 over Mr. Wolf, and 3-0 versus Akram. So,
I mean, maybe we'll be graced with another 3-0. Call it early, go to lunch. But
I don't know. I like to see some more Street Fighter V action, so I like to see the reset, especially because that just puts more pressure on the line.
I kind of want lunch, so let's go Geeko. Anyway, no.
All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna root for Garnet then. I'm gonna raise one up.
You're both fired for bias commentary.
No, that being said, both players right now starting off the Italian duo in front of us here. Unfortunately, the dive kick lands on the Poison Cloud, which could be a big factor in allowing Garnet to better control the neutral space.
Absolutely, and that is going to be a big factor here, is can Garnet maintain control, and especially when Garnet starts his pressure, right? Because we've seen that once he's able to start his pressure, that's when he really excels. But can he maintain that control against the Wriggly, the Wild, the slippery Cammy?
I thought you were going to describe Fong there.
No.
Both of these characters to be described that way. Right now, though, Geeko sticking on top of Garnet like a tick, taking away life. Round 1 goes to Geeko.
Yeah. A lot of damage, too, to follow. I think, Garnet, or even Fong, really, tends to melt and chip away at your life over time. But it really doesn't take a whole lot for Cammy to just pack a punch, right? I mean, even a critical art at that. And we see that critical art sitting in Geeko's side of things. So, a lot of meter to play with, unlike Garnet.
Garnet's going to have to hold this dive kick for a little bit. Okay, thankfully has a V-bar now. But yeah, Geeko being so patient, gets the walk-up throw. Like, that is such an important sign. When you can afford to just walk into your opponent's face and throw them, they're really respecting that. Tries to go for the dive kick, gets called out by the crouch medium kick, and unfortunately their escape attempts are in vain. Garnet gets to the second round.
Yeah, nice clean win at that, especially once he had a V-trigger activation. It just seemed like he was able to cinch it through. But Geeko's still coming into this round with plenty of meter to follow, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a critical art coming into this, especially if he wants to have a huge life lead here. Oh, maybe he lose the chance there, but got clipped on the poison ball. But hey, X-Spiral Arrow, that definitely does the job too.
Yeah. I do like Geeko's use of the EX Spiral Arrow just to put themselves closer to a mid-range scenario. They definitely don't want to be put in that corner if they can avoid it. Tries to punish the EX Command Dash. Unfortunately, it doesn't come out. Doesn't hit confirm the stand fierce. And Geeko right now sitting on a lot of resources that could easily kill Garnet. But Garnet is not dissuaded yet. Still making the slow approach.
Yeah, and just sending out some of those small pokes, maybe baiting for something. Oh, there's the punish. Regular spiral arrow. Nothing big, but definitely hurts.
Yeah, Garnet hadn't used a lot of that meter on EX Command Dash, so it doesn't have enough meter to really make big punishes happen when the opportunity provides.
Right.
Ooh.
Oh, no! Unfortunate! Oh, that is heartbreaking here for Geeko. But Garnet putting one on the board.
Yeah, Geeko just might have got a little frustrated in that situation. Saw the low life, saw the time ticking down, and just went, man, what do I do? Maybe I'll just spiral arrow, and it just came out as a cannon strike instead. Or spike, excuse me.
Yeah. I think you might be right there, but just unfortunate. Especially because that can get punished so easily with Fong's range. Yeah. Yeah, it's an unfortunate round there for Geeko. Unfortunate mistake to be had. But hey, Garnet took it and ran with it, and it earned him a game on the board. 5 more to go.
Yeah. And honestly, it could happen. Garnet's neutral control has been superb at the moment. Every dive kick that Geeko has tried for has usually landed outside of the range that would be plus for them. So it really just ends up being advantageous for Garnet. But unfortunately, gets whiff punished, takes a good amount of damage off of that. But Geeko is going to have a tough time maintaining that life lead, especially with the poison walking towards them.
Right. And you have to be careful too when you're throwing out that poison, right? Because there is some projectile invincibility there with the EX Spiral Arrow. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right. That being said, the V-skill poison doesn't have a hitbox, so you can just walk through it. It's the poison traps and the
right.
charge fireballs that are going to be more of a problem for that, but we haven't seen it come into play yet, mostly just because Garnet's been aware of that, and he's just understands that, like, if she has a bar, I really shouldn't be setting up traps. I should just be like trying to play a mid-screen neutral and just get what hits I can.
No, you're absolutely right there. Yeah, we see that there, right? You're able to eat the V-skill poison with ease, but you can't eat the ground poison, that's for sure. Trying to reach out and grab at Geeko, but just doesn't quite find its landing.
That shimmy paying off in dividends right now. No, the counter hit combo doesn't link, and because of that, Geeko is not going to do nearly as much damage as they want. The EX Spiral Arrow actually gets in on Garnet, but puts Geeko into the corner. Just do it again.
Ooh, one hit to touch here. Right, backing it up. Geeko playing the patient game, finds activation point.
Oh boy, this is precarious situation right now. That should be enough to kill. Not quite, didn't have the meter, but just gets the meaty anyway. Geeko gets counter hit on his wake up, giving Garnet game number 2 now. Looking to make a quick reset of the bracket.
That wasn't easy though. That was not easy for Garnet. He really had the pull through right at the end there. I thought Geeko was gonna close it out only because he already had the activation still on deck. And it was genuinely just one hit to do it. I think Geeko just, you know, either got a little bit greedy there with wanting to close things through. And I get that. I get that not only because you want to close it out with the time dwindling down, but also you're in grand finals. The pressure is on.
Pressure certainly being applied at the moment. Garnet trying to get some with the Coward's Crouch. Unfortunately gets shimmied, but thankfully Geeko's just too far away for the stand medium punch to connect with the stand heavy punch.
Yep. Oh, nice punish there. Even if it's small, we still take it with the standing medium kick from Geeko. Oh, but the anti-air.
I can't believe that worked out like that. I'm sure Geeko was just like, come on, man. You weren't even looking at anti-air. You just cower crouched into the advancing poke, and it just anti-aired me. Why is life so unfair to Cammy mains? I swear.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that's unfair. I think they're fine.
Okay, tries for the empty jump and baits out the V shift. That's really strong. That means Garnet has to hold that pressure. But it was 2+? What happened there? What is happening? Oh no, Geeko is slowly losing.
Yeah, you get it. Oh! Okay.
Hooligan.
Yeah, and I think that's the first time we've actually seen the hooligan introduced as well, so I'm not mad at that at all. Geeko saying, hey, I've got plenty of options. You're gonna have to guess what I'm gonna do next.
It was a desperation move, but it at least gave them the round, and that's all you can really ask for sometimes. Tries for the hooligan again. Unfortunately, went for the throw, which whiffs on the crouchers, and Garnet punishes that with.
Alright, tries to get the neutral jump. Gets a little bit of pay off of that here. Yeah,
I don't even know. I think that's a trade in Geeko's advantage, to be honest. Does about the same damage, but it pushes Garnet closer to the corner.
Yeah, I would think in that situation definitely was a little bit more in Geeko's advantage, but got that advantage activation time for Garnet.
Just ran into the fireball a couple times, no biggie. Yeah, can't cancel again, so a little bit of life left for Garnet, who doesn't have any V reversal, doesn't have any V shift. Is going to have to make this comeback. Ooh, okay, gets a little bit with that poison ball, but unfortunately whiffs the Coward's Crouch attack and gets whiff punished for it. Geeko taking the first game of his first game of the set.
Yeah, and mind you, Geeko on winner's side of things, so he only needs to take 2 more to take the whole tournament. World Warrior 4 EU West.
This would be the second tournament that Geeko takes if he does manage to do it. Pretty much securing his spot in the top 8. Ooh!
Nice convincing round start here from Geeko at that. Looks
That was
like
a
maybe-
really gutsy spacing trap there off the stand medium punch.
yeah.
Worked out beautifully though. Counter poking at its finest.
Truly. And talk about the finest we have to offer for EU West. Nice. Beautifully timed cannon spike. Especially you walk under the fireball, right? You get an up close and personal, but not close enough to get hit by the ground poison. Just close enough to be able to punish it.
Okay, there's the activation route. Honestly, probably a sigh of relief for Geeko, who's able to dive kick freely now that V shift and V reversal are no longer a factor. Taking his free jump ins. His next one's going to be a dive kick for sure. There it is. Like he only had you have only so much time to use it.
I know. You know, we're
that
talking about
coupon.
the big.
You just see it and you're like, I gotta use this right now. Sir, do you really need this many Oreos? No, but I'm gonna cash out when I got the chance. Geeko gonna take the round with the critical art confirmed.
Get that double stuffed at that, right? You're licking your fingers.
Oh,
Wait, so are you? Are you an Oreo milk kind of person? Do you dip your Oreos? Okay, I respect
Who
that.
is it? Are there
True.
people that only prefer the cardboard taste? Is that what they want?
Some people do. Some people do. Or, you know, they even take it a step further. They only eat the frosting. They leave the cookie behind.
Just get a bag of frosting then. You're wasting precious cardboard.
But it's not the same.
Ooh! Calls out the immediate challenge with the bullet knee.
Oh,
Okay.
oh!
Wow. We got enough time.
Drop it
Do
and
it
pick it up.
twice.
Oh, no punish there. That would have been detrimental for Geeko, but what also is detrimental is the throw. One hit to confirm, but could go either way. Activation time from Geeko. Garnet's got a lot to worry about.
I mean, Geeko basically is going to get a free dive. That was supposed to be Spiral Arrow. That was supposed to be
Yeah.
Spiral Arrow.
Thank you very much
No,
to 10 for the 10 euro donation via PayPal.
Oh, thank you for supporting the channel.
Yeah. And supporting some great Street Fighter V action as we get into the potential bracket reset, or Geeko putting another one on the board and inching his way that much closer to the win.
Okay, playing it cool, playing it slow. Just seeing that fireball. Whoa, what a movement option there. Dive kicking around the fireball and then spiral arrowing the follow-up that Garnet tried to throw out there. Geeko right now is playing out of their gosh darn mind. Gets in those plus frames.
Yeah, Ian still holding on to a little bit of meter here. This could do it for Garnet.
Like, what does Garnet do here? Oh, he nearly gets shimmied.
No!
He just waits for Geeko to mess up. That's all he has to do. Just force a few more mistakes.
Yeah, honestly, the patience is going to work out in Garnet's favor here in this match. Especially when you have such low life, right? You cannot afford to make a mistake.
Just keeping the cloud behind him. Playing it slow, playing it cool. Jesus, I can't believe that sleeve worked. He almost had it. He almost had the reset. Geeko wakes up with violence and gets an even 2-2 in the set.
That's heartbreaking. That is absolutely heartbreaking because Garnet was just on the cusp of getting the reset and now has to go through another match. And Geeko probably, feeling pretty comfortable because now he's one away from taking the victory.
Yeah, just one more game needed to take the tournament. That being said, Garnet gonna try their best to stop that from happening. Nice anti-air from Geeko. Oh, excuse me, from Garnet there, who's in control at the moment. Geeko gonna try to disturb that control. Nice counter hit conversion.
Yep, and evening out the life bars at that. Beautiful confirming the spiral arrow maintains the corner pressure. The shimmy, the shake, the throw down. We throwing down out here.
Don't shimmy again. Don't do it to this man again. Okay, holds that pressure. Yeah, just blocks a little bit. Tries for the EX spiral arrow, but it's the invincibility of the command dash lets Garnet escape.
Yeah, but for how long? Not
That's
long
tournament
enough.
point for Geeko.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, what do we do? Oh my god, we just go with the dive kicks, finally working out for Geeko. Right now, every tool of his is doing exactly what it needs to be doing. That being said, that throw range, holy cow.
Yeah, she definitely has one of the better throw ranges in the game. Usually most characters hit about 0.85 squares, but Cammy's a little better.
Yeah.
But, you know, throwing is not the only way to get in. But it is a way to punish. Unfortunately, missed the throw is Garnet right now, and sitting at a pretty solid deficit at that. Garnet cannot afford to lose.
Oh, we take a breath right now. The poison's doing its job, but not nearly as fast as Garnet needs to get this life deficit cleared. Go right now, playing it calm. Gets hit by the low though, Garnet. Getting that activation point, and now trying to get the sequence going so that they can just keep Geeko locked down. V reversal.
Right, utilizes the V reversal. I'm not upset at that at all. I like that because you get out of the corner here. But
that's the thing though. Even though you get out of the corner, I think Cammy's V trigger is so strong, especially with that dive kick. It's really hard for Garnet to contest if they don't have V shift available.
Versus tournament points.
Yep, double Luigi in the weirdest way possible. No whiff punish yet from Geeko though, who might be slipping a little bit. Wants to go on the aggro, gets their aggro. Here we go. For the throw loops? No, not today.
no,
Misses the dive kick.
Yeah, unfortunate there too. Gonna have to eat the poison damage at that. Goes in with the dash in, activation throw, and keeping the pressure going.
Okay, unable to punish the command dash. Calls out the back jump. Jeez, just trying to hunt this man down. That activation might seal Garnet's deal. He might have to guess for game on the next dive kick.
Yep.
Guess for game.
Okay.
Blocks correctly. Oof.
I know that could be detrimental, especially because sitting on critical art here from Geeko. Any confirm could potentially do it.
Attack. Oh, whiff punishes the dive kick. Garnet sitting with a significant life lead, but one whiff punish from stand heavy kick or stand heavy punch will call the game. And Geeko really wants it. That'll whiff. That'll what? Not
Wait,
fast
you
enough.
covered in time?
Unfortunate. It was out of range. It was out of
No,
range.
it got
He stopped it.
No, it got blocked.
It
got
got blocked.
blocked?
It recovered just in time. Yeah. Oh my lord. All right, that is reset. That is reset. The bracket is out the window. We are now all in the loser side. Garnet has dragged us down here. Geeko, despite having a solid 2-game streak, kind of, I don't want to say fumbles, but kind of leaves themselves a little bit vulnerable with their aggression.
I'm not complaining though, because that means I get more Street Fighter V action. So sorry, Houseman, you gotta wait on your lunch.
I wanted lunch.
No lunch for you yet.
I really wanted
We're
lunch.
eating. We're eating by getting more Street Fighter V.
We're getting content. I see.
Yeah.
I see. Finally, those exposure dollars are paying off.
Yeah, we're getting a full plate of Street Fighter V. What more could you ask for?
That's true. That's true. Okay, dives over. Tries to do the same situation that we saw earlier, but unfortunately, just ends up eating the poison trap in front of them. Garnet still though on the back end, getting pushed to the corner. Nice cannon strike, spike right through the poison cloud. Stun is pretty high, and right now, Garnet was very willing to take the throw in that last set. Right now, he does not want any of it.
I don't blame him. I'm gonna be honest with you. Geeko, maybe a little bit mad from that last match. You know, had to deal with the reset. Now has to deal and maintain mental fortitude as well, because you've already played 3 rounds. Now you've got to play 3 more against Fong. Nobody's having a good time unless you're Fong.
Even Fong, I still remember we had a Fong mirror match in like the online local, and both players were like, "I hate this matchup."
I know.
Both like independently declared that they don't like the matchup. What I don't like is those missed combos, though. EXDP, just to reset the situation, Geeko with a slight life deficit, thankfully calls out the dash forward and now tries to make something of it.
Yeah, utilizes the EX slide out too to get out of the corner here, but back into it with the V reversal. Not for long though. We're just stopping by to say hi.
Oh no! What happened?
Oh! There's the punish.
I can't believe Whip punishes with the raw B trigger activation. Geeko taking game number 1 in aggressive fashion.
Yeah, I think that aggression's really paying off for him though, because we saw him play a little bit more. Well, we saw him play, I think, a little more agile, a less aggressive approach, but it seems like Garnet is having a harder time being able to contest that, right? And that's just a drawback of Fawn in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think Geeko is utilizing the ground game a little bit more, utilizing Cammy's walk speed, just willing to either punish Garnet or anti-air them consistently. And not only that, but in that last round, Geeko was still doing the shimmy, still trying to open him up that way. And instead of just taking the throw like Garnet did in their winning set, Garnet was actually kind of delay teching quite a bit. So Geeko was definitely winning in that regards. Nice with punish off of the sweep. Oh my god, everything is going Geeko's way right now. He should be taking out something for the lottery because he's making every guess correctly.
Absolutely. And getting nice cover, but the punish is unfortunate. It didn't land its mark here. And Garnet gets to take his turn, but not for long because Geeko's just gonna fly on out of there.
That B trigger is stellar and so strong. If she has anything like that in 6, well, granted, in 6 you have parries, but like anyway. But yeah, it's so strong, such a strong technique.
Yeah, and I think the difficult thing too with Fong is he relies a lot on his setups, right? So it's about having that spacing and time to set up a few things before you go in. Now, mind you, I think Garden does a great job of being oppressive and not needing to rely on it entirely, but you still want a little bit of space. Oh, unfortunate!
The idea was beautiful. The execution was just slightly flawed. If he did a different strength of the critical art, it might have landed, but because he did, I think it was the heavy strength. Whatever. Geeko is letting that watch off his back like a water off a duck. That being said, he's still losing, and Garnet has the corner at the very least. Oof,
yeah. And the round at that. And I think the struggle with Cammy's critical art is the angle has to be so precise to get the punish, so you really struggle to get a lot of leeway from it, especially compared to some of the other characters on the roster.
Okay, nice anti-air. What attack? All right, uses those sleeves to his advantage. Big jump in though from Geeko. Like at this point, Garnet has learned his lesson from that first round loss. You need to start throwing him. Just throw him like 10 times in a row. Do it.
Yep.
Do it.
We really haven't seen a lot of text from Garnet when it came to the throw. So really, just hey, abuse it if your opponent's not doing anything about it. Oh, that could have been huge.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, what a neutral,
jump.
Oh man, Geeko looking good. Geeko taking it 2-0 right now after being knocked out of winner's side by Garnet here.
I know. Oh man. I'm telling you, Geeko must have had a taste of what winning could have been like, and he doesn't want to let that feeling, fall behind.
Well, right now, it's going to be tough. Yeah, actually whiff punishes, but the poison cloud keeps them protected. Also keeps them protected from the bullet knee there. I have to imagine that was maybe a DP and it just didn't come out correctly.
Yeah, that very well could be the case. What's the case right now is a beautiful counter hit at the maintaining the corner pressure, gets the throw. We're seeing the knee and the stun. I'm not going to have enough to kill, but definitely enough to pack a punch. It still has V-trigger activation at that. Didn't spend any meter during that sequence, or if he did, he gained it right back. Talk about gaining things right back.
That's tournament point for Hiko.
Yeah. And a very dominating set so far makes us think that this is pretty much Geeko's game.
I'm still holding out for Garnet here. Because you don't lose till you lose. And we have got 80-something seconds left on the board.
Alright, the Coward's Crouch actually works out. Gonna be able to punish the V reversal with that fantastic crouch medium punch. Oh no, tries to DP right through the poison cloud, but still gets caught by it. Little bit of the scramble working out for Garnet's favor. Geeko definitely getting a little antsy, getting a little trigger happy. Thankfully, the trigger actually gets pulled at the right time there. Gonna activate off of this, does Garnet. Keep up this damage and this pressure. Gets anti-air though, stops all pressure.
Oh, no. And look at what's behind Geeko here. When confirmed could do it.
Just don't throw the poison. You have no reason to throw the poison right now, Garnet. Throws out EX sleeve, double EX sleeve. Thankfully, that dash check didn't combo into a death. But right now, the jump-ins are free for Geeko. Because a dive kick will
That hit
call out.
was it, actually.
Oh!
If you would have confirmed.
Yeah. Tries to check the dash a little too slow. And Geeko right now is sitting with so many good resources. Puts themselves in the corner. And actually gets clipped by the Coward's Crouch trying to jump out. Garnet breathes a very slight sigh of relief.
Nothing cowardly about that as we push into, again, tournament point here for Geeko, but finally a point on the board potentially for Garnet if he can cinch this through, but right now, Geeko, big, strong start to the round.
Good check, but it still gets caught by the poison ball. Garnet will either not able to or not, basically not able to combo off of that. Checks the dive kick and in fact combos off of it. Tries to get a cheeky dash forward into crouch medium kick, but Geeko's a little too fast about it. Gets another throw off of it. And right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Geeko just sits with the meter that he has and just tries to do enough damage off of throws to give himself a chip situation.
Yeah,
Runs
because we haven't seen any tech on the throws as of yet, or at least anything that made a significant difference here from Garnet. Oh no! One hit could do it! Activation time!
This is 10. Oh, and the EX sneak! It does so well!
Talk about breathing a sigh of relief. Garnet still in it to win it, bringing one on the board finally.
Alright.
I'm stressed right now.
Signs of life from Garnet. That being said, I do see some of the problems that Geeko was having when the bracket got reset, where you felt like they were getting a little too overly aggressive against Garnet, and they were falling for some of the traps that were being set up, allowing themselves to be easily whiff punished. Right now, things are looking a little better in terms of the lockdown. They're making the approach, but not leaving themselves vulnerable. Being said, that'll be a punish dive kick, and Garnet will take any damage that they can do against this aggressive character.
Yeah, it utilizes the the V reversal there to get out of the corner. Don't blame Geeko here, but I also don't blame Garnet for wanting to capitalize on all this damage here, especially with the poison and the V trigger still on the deck.
What a whiff punish.
Break on the throw here. Ooh, activation time. Gets the knees, but nothing big off of it.
Yeah, I wanted a reset just because they didn't think they would get too much damage for it. That being said, runs into the Coward's Crouch, and that'll give another round to Garnet.
Unfortunate here. Geeko finally cracked. He was doing so well.
There are some moments of brilliance here and there. There are some really solid whiff punishes. There's some really great walk-up throws. What hasn't been as consistent are the dive kicks, and it feels like Geeko is trying to prove that he can dive kick his way to victory here. And it's just proving to kind of leave himself in a more precarious situation than it is an obvious goal.
Cammy doesn't have the health for much issues.
Yeah. Ooh, nice walk
really
through the
can't
V
afford
skill.
Alright. Oh! There, yep, I was gonna say, there's a punish. Nothing big off of it, but hey, we still take that because it chips away at the health here. But, talk about health. Geeko with the life lead. And meter lead to fall. Goes in with the throw. No tech.
Alright, jumps back to avoid the pressure. Garnet right now has to go in if they want to get a life lead. Thankfully, Geeko doesn't have too many things to really kind of force a situation until now. Now that they have B trigger, they can force a situation if they want. Nice with punish. Doesn't even have to spend a bar, Geeko. That was really nice.
Yeah,
It's a
really
tournament
clean.
point.
Yeah, and look at what Geeko gets to play with. Full stick of butter. He cooking right now. He's not just cooking Garnet. He cooking himself a full meal.
Are you just trying to make me more hungry? I said I
So
wanted
yeah,
lunch.
so many
Little
tournament points right now.
I know.
But you admit it. Anyway, nice with punish there. Nice knockdown. Again, just the rush down is inevitable here. Thankfully, Garnet finally escapes with a V shift.
Yeah, and immaculate at that, right? We're seeing from both players when they do follow through with a rush down and they maintain the pressure, it really is oppressive on both sides. So, what can I say? Some great Street Fighter 5 action.
Ooh, that's gonna get punished there. Geeko right now being a little antsy in terms of their defense. Thankfully gets the life lead back with a back throw, but they're slowly losing it by trying to backdash out of this pressure. Tries to punish the coward's crouch.
Nothing out of it, but it lands.
Yeah, I think that was a punish. No, it's a kill. Instant overhead. He tried for it. The V shift got him away, and he just mashed his DP. Just mash the DP. Take the tournament. Geeko, his second CPT World Warrior event in the bag, basically secures his seat for top 8 finals.
And mind you, I don't know how many points he was behind Mr. Wolf, but he is going to get 50 points added on, and he was in second place compared to last week, so he's going to be sitting nice and pretty through the tournament for World Warrior Europe West. What a show from Geeko. I'm impressed.
There it is, the graphic already set. I swear, Aritas has like 2 of these set up like newspapers. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like X president wins or Y president wins. And it's
Right.
like if Geeko wins, if Garnet wins. Geeko is the winner today, though, sitting in first place with Cammy. Garnet second with their Fong. Ackerman third with their Lucia. Snowboy getting in fourth with Vega and the alternative Nash as well. Combinera with his Ken and Dan. Mr. Wolf with his Nikali and Seth in fifth. And then, of course, in seventh, we have Maeve with the Chun-Li and Clone with their Nash.
And that's the beauty, right? You enter in one Europe West tournament, or even a couple, right? And you get a couple points in there. That's the beauty of how much that W can take you. Because we're seeing, Dado Mago and Jin both get knocked out, as well as Takamura. And everybody, I believe everybody gets at least 1 point if you enter in these tournaments. So it's not like you're going home entirely empty-handed.
That's how it be. That's how it
Thank you very much to Flexus and Houseman for commentating today. Was way too
Anytime.
long. It was way too long, Flexus. Wait.
I know. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be in the seat, and I'm glad to see some amazing EU Street Fighter 5 action.
Yeah.
So I love Saltmine League, and I love everybody in between.
Hope. Make sure to follow them on Twitter. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. Next week will be Europe East on Sunday. And yeah, I sent you over to Reversal GG streaming Street Fighter 6. More
Alright.
going back into the loop. And I go to sleep.
Go sleep, Ritas.
And, anyway, thank you very much. See you next weekend.
Peace, y'all.
Have a good one.